It really takes a lot to surprise me with stupidity in this day and age, because we have easy, unlimited access to the loony bin called Twitter 24 hours a day. It's like a zoo, like a little SCP containment facility for all of the dumbest and weirdest creatures that evolution and inbreeding has ever produced. And yet today, I watched a video that left me stunned by an evil imbecile. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this because it went viral earlier this week, so I'm definitely tardy to the party, but I'm just seeing it now. It's a drunk driver from Illinois. She killed 2 people and couldn't stop giggling about it and couldn't register that she wasn't going to be able to go to school the following day or get her car back. So there's body cam footage that has now just come out, even though this incident took place last year. She received 14 years for this, which I think is just not enough. I've been very vocal about my disdain for drunk drivers. I hate drunk drivers more than Garfield hates Mondays. It is a purely unforgivable act. It is selfish, dangerous, and there's no excuse for it ever. Especially in today's society where there's Uber, Lyft, a taxi, calling a friend, you can easily find transportation to get home that doesn't involve putting everyone's life at risk on the road. And this lady killed 2 people while drunk driving. Just normal, innocent people that did nothing wrong, and not only did she kill them, she couldn't stop laughing about it, just having a giggle fit like she was in a tickle fight. The body cam footage released, and it is disgusting.
Okay. That's straight. I told you it's hard. I'd rather do the walking.
Okay, go up. Keep your head straight. Just look up with your eyes.
She's reacting to a fatal accident like a child reacts to a clown at a birthday party. And she was informed that 2 people involved here died. And she truly just couldn't give less of a fuck about any of that.
Oh, hey, you never answered me about my car. I have school tomorrow, so how do I get my car for tomorrow?
Well, your car is totaled.
It's what?
Your car is totaled.
Totaled?
Totaled, wrecked.
So they conducted field sobriety tests, all of which she failed because obviously she is completely hammered. They then get to this point in the video where the officer and her are in the room and she doesn't like the silence, so she says that she's going to start singing. So she starts flexing the golden pipes with some of the worst fucking singing you'll ever hear. It's not really singing, it's more like some kind of Gregorian chant if it was being farted out of a walkie-talkie, and she starts dancing like she's in some kind of trance. But regardless, she starts boogieing down and singing. She's treating this whole situation like she's at fucking Mardi Gras. Like it's like she's celebrating that she had just killed 2 people as if it was some kind of fucking sacrifice, and she's happy about the whole situation. It's not even that she's not registering it, she actively doesn't care, which is completely different. Yes, she is beyond drunk, clearly, but she is aware of what has happened. He has told her multiple times, she understands why she's there, and just actually doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so how do I get it to your school tomorrow?
You don't.
So, I don't go to school tomorrow, is what you're telling me?
You brain-dead fucking worm. Obviously you're not going to school tomorrow. You just killed 2 people in a drunk driving accident. This isn't GTA where you can just reset and undo what happened here. You took 2 people's lives away because you're a fucking ridiculously stupid idiot. Like, holy shit. And the only thing that she can even process is that this might be an inconvenience to her because she has school tomorrow and she doesn't want to miss class.
No, ma'am. You want me to be honest with you? You're going to jail. You don't have a bond. You killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond. You are not getting out of jail. Your car is property of East Peoria Police Department because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you. You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I have a Tuesday for my night class?
How this officer didn't just stand up and flip a chair over out of frustration is beyond me. Just watching this had me want to flip a table like I had just lost a game of chess and got upset about it. He just laid down all of the brass tacks here, explained the situation for the fucking 50th time already, and once again, she still only cares about her standing, about being able to go to class. So then she says, well, what about Tuesday? You know, like, as if she thought she'd only spend like 24 hours in jail or something after killing 2 people. Like, okay, you know, I'll do the time for the crime. Oh, okay, I get it. Punishment is necessary. So 24 hours, right? Tuesday I can get my car? We can just go ahead and magically put my car back together even after it's been totaled after my drunk driving accident that took away 2 people's lives? Yeah, do we have a Magneto on board who can fix my car up so that I can get the class on Tuesday?
Did you just hear what I just told you?
You said I'm not going tomorrow. I'm talking about Tuesday.
Did you hear when I said that
I'm going to jail tomorrow.
You're going to jail when we're done here?
Yes.
Did you understand what I told that you killed 2 people tonight?
Yes. I'm just wondering when I can go to school.
Okay, we're done.
Once again, she is hearing him loud and clear. She is acknowledging that she is hearing that she is responsible for the death of 2 people. She just doesn't care. They could have brought the corpses in, and she probably would have let out a hearty belly laugh like Santa Claus. She doesn't fucking care. She didn't know them personally, thus their life is meaningless to her. The only thing that matters is now it might be somewhat of an inconvenience because she thinks she might not be able to go to school tomorrow or even on Tuesday now. So now she's starting to get a little panicked because, oh, she's going to miss her fucking Tuesday night class. Not because she just killed 2 people, it's just she's going to miss her Tuesday night class.
You're all on body camera being completely careless about killing 2 people tonight. You could care less. That's sad and pathetic and horrible all at the same time.
Can you say that as a cop?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, so can I ask when I can go back to school?
I'm not the officer on the scene here, but I can answer the question for you. 14 years, and you can go back to school. And hopefully, if you do go back to school in 14 years, everyone bullies the shit out of you and never lets you forget this moment, and never lets you forget what you did. I don't think you should be able to go back to school in 14 years. I think that is way too lenient of a punishment for what you've done. I think the sentence should have been much longer here, for sure. But I wasn't the judge on the case, so it's clearly not up to me here. I think she is irredeemably stupid, and I do think stupidity can reach a level where it is dangerous, like in a case like this, where you become a danger to everyone around you because you are such an absolute bumbling fucking moron. Now, she was singing a bit of a different tune here, talking about how remorseful she was, saying she's sorry for everything and she'd never commit anything like that again, hasn't drank since that day and doesn't plan on drinking ever again. However, the judge was implored to just impose the maximum 28-year penalty, which I do completely agree with, but unfortunately, she only received 14 years. I also find it very hard to believe that now she's starting to feel remorseful, only now that she realizes she's not only going to miss school for those couple of days, she's going to miss school for 14 years. I still don't believe she has any level of remorse for the victims here. I truly don't. I understand she was drunk, but I used to get drunk a lot, and if you told me I so much as pushed somebody and hurt them, I would have been inconsolably upset that I was responsible for something like that, even while fucking inebriated. Like, it's not like when you're drunk, all of a sudden you become a callous statue that can't process emotion or process any level of information. Because she acknowledged multiple times that she understood 2 people died from what happened. She just still didn't care. She kept singing and dancing and just talking about school and how it might be an inconvenience to her. So I really do think that even while sober, she just doesn't fucking value anyone's life that she doesn't personally know. I know this is me getting very like armchair psychologist about all of it, but it's just the impression I get from the body cam footage as well as reading the rest of the story. I think she is irredeemably stupid and evil and dangerous. So just wanted to talk about this story a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. Yesterday I found myself in the center of the stupidest controversy I've ever been involved in. And that's saying something. That's an achievement. Because 5 years ago I had beef with the old school RuneScape team because I got banned for botting when I posted a video about how I made the world's worst auto-clicking machine. If you can even call this a machine. I Frankensteined together this absolute abomination with a children's screwdriver, a toy screwdriver, and a bunch of tape. Like, I Jimmy Neutroned the worst thing the world's ever seen to help me click when I went to take a shit while on my thieving grind. The thing is about... I'm getting kind of sidetracked on this. This dude doesn't even work as an auto-clicker because when it came to thieving, I'd still have to come back and manually go up to click the coin pouch. So it was really only there for literally maybe a minute while I was away to go to the bathroom, and it still couldn't even fully auto-click on its own and be self-sufficient, because I'd have to come in and manually human input clicking the coin pouch. It was still the dumbest ban in RuneScape history. So I've been in some dumb controversy. But what happened yesterday blew my mind, because I actually just could have never even imagined it would be an issue in the first place. I posted a compilation video of my entire Elden Ring DLC playthrough of my fist-only build, where I would only be using fist-based weapons, giving them the power of the good old knuckle sandwich, the 1-2, the Law and Order. No summons, just good old-fashioned meat. And I finished the DLC, I really enjoyed it, and posted a long highlight of how the whole run went. And I was really happy with how the run went, and I thought the video was a fucking banger. But I made the mistake of titling the video, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is Easy. I thought the title was pretty obviously sarcastic, and it's actually a title I've used frequently throughout my entire time on YouTube. Here's just a quick screenshot of just a batch of videos I called Blank is an Easy Game, or Blank is Easy. And to those of you that have been eating your carrots with that sharp eyesight, you might notice I actually titled the Elden Ring video down there the same thing. Elden Ring is an easy game. And it wasn't controversial back then, but because the DLC's become a hot button issue over the difficulty of it, people took it as me insulting them by calling it easy. So it became a pretty big talking point on a few Twitter threads as well as a bit on Reddit about how much of an asshole I was for calling the video Elden Ring DLC is easy. Don't worry, I've been successfully bullied into renaming it Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is hard. The re-education here has been successful. I've been programmed to now know that sarcasm will never work in a video title, even in something as insignificant as a video game subject here, about the difficulty of it. Like, if you watch the video, there's multiple times I talk about it being difficult, but still fun. And it took me 66 tries to kill the final boss. It took me 3 hours. It's not exactly like I was trying to hide that fact or anything. It took a while. It wasn't easy. I thought it was pretty obvious, if anyone even bothered to sit down and watch any moments of the video itself. But perhaps that's an unrealistic expectation. People don't need to actually watch the thing they're getting mad about, I guess. I truly never thought this would be controversial, because I've used that title for so many videos in the past without issue. But the big 2024 is presenting new problems out of thin air, I guess, here. I'm gonna be totally honest here, sports fans, I don't get it. I don't know what there is to be fuming about. Let's say I truly did find the DLC to be easy. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? If I find it easy and you find it super hard, why is that still cause for anger? It's not some kind of personal attack against you or anything. It's truly just not a big deal if we disagree on the difficulty of something. Now, in this case, we agree that it's hard. So, like, it's actually just over nothing just because you couldn't be bothered to watch the video and got mad about the silly title. A title, again, that I have used actually probably 30, 40 times without it ever being an issue. Until now. Until the Elden Ring DLC was the one that had this title slapped on it. I still think it's a pretty trivial thing to get mad about, but I'm not here to, like, rant about it for a super long time to try and change your mind on it. I'm not trying to fucking, like, jack into your brain and start moving levers around to make you feel like it, you know, wasn't a big deal. If it made you upset, then I apologize for it. It truly was just a sarcastic title. Like, again, I thought that was pretty clear in the actual content of the video itself. And again, it's a title I've used so many times without issue. I could have never possibly predicted fucking Nostradamus. Baba Vanga couldn't have predicted that it would be an issue this time. At least in my eyes, I don't think it would be, because I've used it so many times. For many other hard games, mind you. So yeah, I don't think the Elden Ring DLC is easy. I find it difficult. Let's set the record straight. I really enjoyed the challenge. I had a great time with it. To date, that final boss in the DLC is the hardest in any game I've ever played. It took me 66 tries and a little over 3 hours, but beating that final boss is one of the best feelings I've had in gaming in quite some time, especially because I did it with Old Faithful right here. Gave him the Why I Oughta special. So it felt great to finally triumph over that final boss. I do have a couple of complaints about the final boss. I'm not going to get into spoilers, so don't worry, I'm going to talk broadly here. In Phase 2 of the final boss, there is a legitimate issue that needs to be fixed with the visual clutter. The final boss uses attacks that are actually fucking blinding, like Piccolo casting a solar flare. Every couple of attacks that the final boss has will inevitably spawn very, very bright particle effects that make it impossible to see what's even happening around you or even in front of you. So they end up masking a lot of the boss's moves so you can't even see some of them coming, which I am confident was not on purpose. I don't think that was the design philosophy, to be casting an infinite fucking smoke screen so you can't see the boss. It's just too bright. I really think that's something they'd need to, like, tone down the brightness without necessarily nerfing the moveset, because I actually think the moveset's just fine. The hitboxes are really tight, actually, on the final boss, and I had tons of attempts to experience the hitboxes. I don't have any problems with the hitboxes themselves. It's just so bright and so much clutter that it makes it almost impossible sometimes to see what move is being thrown at you. Coupled with the fact that the boss has really long, puffy hair, it's oftentimes you can't react to something because you can't see it. Between the visual clutter of the particle effects from some of the attacks and the boss's hair itself, sometimes you actually will just get hit by a bullshit blaster that you never saw because the hair was in your fucking face, as well as all these lights that are flashing like you just walked into an EDM rave. It's like that. I don't think that's on purpose. So I think that is something that they need to legitimately address. And I think it's the reason why a lot of people are getting kind of hung up on Phase 2 of that boss, because I feel like if you could see it better, you could learn the patterns a lot better and be more efficient at dodging. But because sometimes you can't see it at all, there's not a whole lot of progress you make with the dodge timings. So I do want to put that out there. Even though I really enjoyed beating the final boss, it was very frustrating and quite a big headache when I would die, like have my cheeks spread by something I actually couldn't see under any circumstances because of too much clutter and too much hair. Goofball must have just got their hair done right before the fight, and goodness gracious, the buff that gave to the boss cannot be understated. So yeah, hair, visual clutter, huge complaints about the final boss from me. Other than that, though, I really did enjoy the DLC. There, like I mentioned in the last video, talking about the DLC, there are a few bosses, and more, since I finished the game, that I recognized, have janky hitboxes. By far, the worst is Commander Gaius. Commander Gaius has an unforgivably terrible hitbox on the hog that he rides. Hog Rider is by far the worst boss in this game. Like, I'm not just talking about DLC. I think Commander Gaius is the worst boss in all of Elden Ring. That boss just super sucks. Like, the hitbox is broken, actually broken. So, yeah. There definitely is some complaints that I have with the DLC, but overall, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm sorry for the title of the Shadow of the Erdtree video. I wasn't trying to make anyone feel bad. To me, I thought it was just harmless silliness, and I'd used it so many times in the past, it didn't register that it could be an issue. So I guess going forward, I just won't call things easy in the title anymore. But anyway, just want to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya. We've all had extremely awful ideas at some point in our life. It's part of the human condition. We're cursed to occasionally think of the stupidest shit possible. I'll go ahead and share one of my worst ideas ever with all of you, and I know I've brought this up before, but I think it's always worth mentioning again. For what it's worth, I still think this could have been a banger video. I'm not convinced it's actually a stinky idea, but my friends stepped in and slapped some sense into me. I wanted to do a breast milk tier list, where we get a lot of different breast milk from some strangers and compare it to see who has the best, you know, which athlete submitted the tastiest sample. You know, like, imagine that video. That goes so hard. That's like a Mr. Beast 100 million view video right there. Here's 100 strangers all lactating in a circle. Whoever has the best breast milk wins a house, you know. Point is, we didn't do it, and this is what separates us from the true lunatics. We're able to recognize when an idea is terrible and shouldn't be acted upon. At least most of us. Like I said, in terms of breast milk, I still think there was a nugget of genius with that idea. But the ability to not actually go through on a horrible idea is extremely important, and apparently a skill some people lack. I want to show you a video as well as go over a situation that happened in Mississippi this week where a daycare worker was convinced it was a good idea to go into the daycare wearing a scream mask and yelling and shaking kids for no reason at all other than to be cruel. Not that there's ever a reason to put on like a Halloween mask and start like trying to jump scare 4-year-olds. I can't really think of a situation where that would make sense. It'd be justified. Like, oh, I see. So the reason you went up and started yelling and screaming at this 4-year-old, spitting on their face, is because they didn't write their name in cursive properly. Ah, okay, now I get it. Just an all-around fucking stupid decision from this lady here to do this. It's pretty disturbing to watch, so I'm not going to show you too much of it. It's pretty hard to sit through. And these kids are so young that if you put like a ball behind your back, they're going to think it vanished. These are really young kids we're talking about here who are very, very scared and upset about this. So I have no doubt that they probably went home fucking frightened. Like, it could have been traumatizing, I have no doubt. The daycare worker did get fired. I'll give you the good news right away. They were investigated and fired for this incident based on what I read. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of it. Hey, calm down, kids. It's just a prank. What? Why aren't you laughing? It's a YouTube prank video. What don't you get about it? Oh, lighten up. Come on. Oh, why are the parents upset? What, you sent your kids to daycare to, like, learn or be safe or something? No, I'm letting the demon out. I'm scaring the shit out of them. That's what daycare is all about, I guess. Just an all-around, completely brain-dead idea here. And you would think they'd stop after this first room here, like, maybe they're so stupid they didn't grasp that kids are obviously going to be afraid of yelling in a creepy mask. So you'd think that they're like, oh, okay, this was a bad idea, maybe delete the video and we're never going to talk about this again. But they were so confident and having so much fun, they did this to the entire daycare, even after this first room. I always hate when people say this and reference the show, even though I did like the show, but it truly does feel like a scene straight out of The Office where Michael cooks up the dumbest fucking plan imaginable and then does it. I get the same vibe from this whole situation as I do something from that show. Now, I first saw this on Twitter, and Twitter being this repository of the dumbest fucking most unhinged takes of all time, I expected a lot of the comments to say things like, kids are too soft these days anyway, we need to toughen them up. In fact, I don't think the daycare worker went far enough. We need to start feeding them nails in their cereal and motor oil in their milk. Make them big and tough, grow up big and strong for the harsh world we live in here. But to my surprise, I actually didn't see any of those takes. This was so indefensible that not even the most brain-rotted zombies on Twitter came out in support of this in any way. It really is just a genuinely horrible idea, start to finish, top to bottom. It's just a crazy lady who thought this was a good idea to just traumatize the kids there. And she's not alone, by the way. She does have an accomplice. I didn't show her in the video, but the woman filming shows another woman who's encouraging her, saying, oh, those kids over there have been kind of naughty. Maybe you should go scare them, which she does. So I don't know if they're using this as some form of cruel punishment for not following directions properly. I don't really know. But she's not alone. There was at least one other person who was encouraging this behavior. I'd also like to say I read a post from the woman who filmed this video. Apparently, she wasn't in cahoots with the masked lunatic here, this deranged maniac who did this. She was filming this as evidence that they're kind of fucked up. Apparently they had done this before and it wasn't filmed, so this time she wanted to make sure she got it on tape to send to the parents to let them know what was going on. Of course, this could be a lie, there's no telling for sure, but I am inclined to believe that because it doesn't sound like the woman filming is like encouraging her or anything like that, at least not that I heard. So I just wanted to at least put that out there for like complete information regarding this. I'd also like to give a personal tale from the past of Charles, a little lore dump here, some exposition. I do remember being in like 3rd or 4th grade, and for Halloween sometimes a teacher would dress up or decorate the room and maybe even make it like a creepy like moment scare thing. But it was always so quick where it was like, ah, gotcha. It's just me, the teacher, Miss Algebra here. You know, like Scooby-Doo, where they unmask the thing so that way the kids aren't super afraid. Also, I was like 9 or 10. You know, I wasn't like 4 years old like the kids in this video. So I think there is just a huge difference. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with teachers having fun with Halloween in the classroom, like decorating it, or even doing like a, ooh, spooky moment thing. But it has to be something quick and not fucking traumatizing like this. There's just no place for that. At the end of the day, when you play a prank or you do like a lighthearted scare that's supposed to be in good fun, afterwards, everyone should be able to laugh about it. They shouldn't be screaming and crying as a result of your prank or whatever. I won't show you any more clips from the video, but I would like to describe one more thing that happened in here that I found to be particularly disturbing. One of the kids gets so frightened he starts running away as quick as he can, but the lady in the mask starts chasing after him and then picks him up and brings him back to the area where she's yelling and screaming at the kids. So I feel like this is going to make every kid here hate October, as well as feel genuinely unsafe at that daycare from this point forward. And it's also going to make the parents really concerned because this is someone they've trusted with their kids. And for some reason, they decided to just start scaring the shit out of them for no reason whatsoever. So overall, just a horrible idea and a bad situation. I am happy to hear they got fired for this. 100% deserved. I think that is 100% a great move. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. You see about the lady in Montana with the husky. Talking about the lady that killed and skinned a husky because she thought it was a wolf and bragged about it on Facebook. That stupid asshole? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, this dumb inbred moron shot and killed a husky and then skinned it and started posting pictures of it on Facebook talking about how she's like saving the world one coyote or one wolf kill at a time or whatever. I really think there is like a level of stupidity where you are a danger. And she's definitely crossed that line. Like, I really think that's like a legitimate concern. Like those cops that parked parked their car on the train tracks with a suspect inside and then got hit by a train. Like, there is a level of stupid where if someone, you know, makes it past that event horizon, they are a danger. It didn't even remotely look like a wolf. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, she is so fucking dumb that she should not be allowed back into general population. She'll shoot a person and say it was Bigfoot. Yeah, maybe. That'll be your next hunting endeavor. Alright, I know you guys were mad about the wolf, but look at this chupacabra I just killed. And it's just like a hairy guy. Someone posted on I am very badass of her boyfriend talking shit to all the people angry she killed a husky. That I didn't see. I'm gonna look that up right now. Yeah, because her boyfriend took the pictures, right? Let's see. Any of you motherfuckers talk all the shit you cuz... What? Man, what in the inbred? Immediately? Any of you motherfuckers talk all the shit you cuz not one of you motherfuckers are tough enough to act on any of your bullshit. Said, if so, come on to my place and I'll beat your fucking ass myself. Yeah, my girlfriend was out hunting and shot a fucking dog that was dumped out in the woods. No charges have been filed or will be filed because no laws were broke. It was a deer-chasing feral-ass dog on the wrong place at the wrong time. If you want to be a bunch of crybaby-ass fucking sheep, keep going because we really don't give two fucks about what's going on or what's being said. Mistakes happen. Big fucking deal. You crybaby motherfuckers, and for any other hunters who want to talk shit saying it looks bad, we'll fucking shit. Hey, watch out, this guy's gonna shit. Oh no, oh no! Oh no, they're gonna shit. Well, fucking shit it does, you stupid motherfuckers, but mistakes happen, so like I said, any of you fucks want to act on these threats and bullshit, come up, cause I got one for you. Said with a guy with a profile pic that's not even of him. Very confident. I'm imagining 3 missing teeth. Probably camo shorts, overalls, IPA in hand. This could become a new copy pasta. And it's a little too incomprehensible to be a copy pasta. Like the Navy SEALs one, like that one's perfect. Like you get everything you need and it's like, it's readable. This is confusing. It also, the Navy SEAL one also applies to so many situations. This one's very niche. Very, very niche. How can you even defend that? Just own up to it. You killed a fucking dog. You can't. This guy's just so inbred that his brain is rotted so much that he still tries. No, this is Montana. The lady who shot and skinned the Huskies from Montana, and this is her boyfriend. This guy probably wears those shirts with the skeletons holding guns with the American flag on it. I love those targeted marketing shirts. I didn't listen to Tim McGraw for 20 years for you to look at my daughter. You want to date my daughter? You better get a coffin ready, bub. I got 6 in the chamber, a brewski in the back, and a bad attitude. This guy uses a tack shaver 100%. Yeah, this guy is absolutely tack shaving. God, her smiling over it is just so infuriating. Yeah, you're right. No missing teeth. Damn. But here's the tough guy with that nice bit of a badassery on Facebook. You don't want to say it to his face, partner. So I also don't see a follow-up of them being, like, even investigated. Like, with charges. Oop, I shouldn't scroll up. That's where she skinned the husky. There's almost no areas I'd be considered an expert in. When it comes to intelligence, I rank just barely above Patrick Starr. But there is one field in particular I really think I'm a connoisseur of and would be considered one of the preeminent experts in that domain. Dumb things on stream. I have this all-seeing eye. I've got my feelers everywhere in order to stay finger on the pulse and up to date with every awful stream moment that happens. Usually it's a bunch of harmless cringe material that's not serious, but today I've got something dangerously stupid to share with you. This is probably the dumbest recorded broadcast with a firearm I've seen since that Twitch streamer did a desk pop and blew a hole through his wall and executed his cup by shooting his gun while live. And then he made like a Mr. Beast thumbnail face in response to it because he couldn't believe he just fucking shot around in his house. He got banned for that, rightfully so. You can't just be cosplaying Yosemite Sam and start fucking blasting around. It's called a negligent discharge when you recklessly fire it and it poses a threat of injury or death to someone around you, which is what happened there. He accidentally fired off around his own home. It could have easily struck someone innocent and killed them. It's a bad thing. And that, to me, was still the dumbest moment I have ever seen on stream until it was beaten today by this.
Where? Oh my god!
What the hell was that?
He shot it! Jeezer!
Yo, y'all living the life, bro. What the fuck? I just got shot at.
Apparently that's a Marine. I don't know if it's a current or former Marine. If it's a current one, I hope he's ready to be a former one. He just got caught on camera committing a crime. It's a negligent discharge. That's a textbook showcase of what a negligent discharge looks like. You can hear him flip off the safety and then fire those 2 rounds just to play a joke on Aiden Ross. But that joke could have easily resulted in him blowing his fucking foot off with that. You would have had Aiden Ross streaming with a goddamn peg leg like a pirate here from this stunt. I couldn't believe what I watched. In fact, I was in disbelief and trying to debunk this myself, thinking that perhaps he was using blanks and this was a staged stunt. But I watched it back, and it doesn't seem like blanks. It blows up a sufficient amount of dirt. Now, there's a misconception about blanks in general where people believe that it basically turns a gun into a toy, where it's 100% safe, nothing can go wrong really, when that's just not true. Bruce Lee's son was actually killed by being shot close range with a blank round. Sometimes shit happens. There's accidents. There is a lot of danger that can still be posed when using blanks. So even if it is blanks that he's using, it's still reckless to shoot it like that close to Aiden Ross next to a human being. But, like I said, I don't think it's blanks. I'm pretty sure these are live rounds that he used for that.
Where?
Oh my god. What the hell was that?
Here's another angle that showcases the proximity of the shots relative to Aiden's feet. Luckily, no one was hurt here, But there's something else I want to mention. He just fired this weapon when nobody around in this video has eyes and ears on, meaning no one has eye protection or ear protection on. Guns are really fucking loud. And if you're firing a gun without ear protection, that can cause some actual hearing damage. Which is why whenever you go to a firing range or anything that's even remotely professional, you'll see everybody is wearing ears and eyes. They have protection on. No one here does, meaning I'm sure some people had their ears wrung from that one in a pretty severe way. All just because Goofball wanted to play a practical prank on Aiden. The haha, I almost blew your foot off prank. A timeless classic, I guess. There's only like a couple of rounds that you can fire without ear protection comfortably, and those are subsonic rounds mainly. Like that you can fire without ear protection and not have your ears bleed. But those are not subsonic rounds that he's using, I don't think. It certainly doesn't sound like it. I've fired quite a few subsonic rounds of my own. I know what they sound like. I don't think that was an example of it at all, unless he's using some really special Marine exclusive prototypes or something. There is just so much wrong with this 20-second clip here. I still am in disbelief that a Marine apparently did this. I don't know what he thought would happen as a result of it. This isn't something that normal people just brush off as like a silly moment or like, just a joke. That is something that just put the entire life of Aiden Ross in jeopardy with that one simple decision right there. Again, firearms are not a toy. Like, there was so much that could have gone wrong there. Like, after firing the first shot, maybe it kicks a little too much and it throws his wrist off a little bit, and then it aims more at Aiden, and he fires the second shot, and just fucking splits his leg in half right from the shin. There is so much that could have gone wrong. It's a miracle it didn't. Now, I have to imagine, with how viral this clip has gone, that Marine is probably going to face punishment. Again, it's a crime. It's a negligent discharge. Like, there's no way of arguing otherwise. So yeah, I just wanted to show this because I was baffled by that clip. Again, even if it's blanks, it's still reckless and a dangerous thing to do. So yeah, this is probably the dumbest stream moment I've seen now, beating the previous negligent discharge of a firearm from a streamer, which is crazy. But anyway, that's about it. So yeah. I'm no stranger to stupid ideas. In fact, I'm the god emperor of dumb, dangerous shit. Recently, I thought it'd be a really cool video idea if I strapped Kevlar to my chest and then shot myself point blank with a revolver, just because I thought that'd be like super fucking cool, like how strong is body armor and is it painful? Hopefully the body armor would be strong enough to stop the bullet. It wasn't like an elaborate suicide attempt. I was convinced it was a cool idea because the guy who invented Kevlar, I think every year for the last like 30 or 40 years, he has a convention like a Kevlar con, like furry con but for body armor enthusiasts, where he puts on a Kevlar vest and he takes a revolver and just shoots himself in the chest. And dude's like 80 years old and he still does it, and I'm like, if this old fucking fossil's bones can take it, I'm sure I can too. And I'm like, that's a good video idea. I had to be talked out of it by my friends. The point being, I come up with shitty, dumb ideas all the time. Another really banging bad idea I had is I thought it'd be great if you directed a porn video, but put like a jump scare in there. Just put like right when it's reaching climax, so that way whoever's jerking off is about to like blow their load, and then all of a sudden, bang! Big jump scare out of nowhere. Just to really ruin someone's day. Again, bad ideas across the board. So I have a keen eye in recognizing impossibly awful ideas, and one I want to share with you today is one that I found really enjoyable. Of course, it's on Kickstarter, where all bad ideas go, especially when they try and scam you. This is a lawnmower that uses lasers to cut your grass instead of the spinning blades. They claim that lawnmowers are the cause of over $1 billion worth of injury per year. Like 550,000 Americans are being injured and dying from the lawnmower menace, making it sound like this is the real pandemic, that lawnmowers are killing everyone out there. You know, in 10 years from now, it's going to be nothing but mangled corpses littering the United States because the lawnmowers are taking over and rising up to spite us.
J&M Inventions, LLC is a family-owned business, father and daughter team, which focuses their attention on making people's lives safer and avoiding injuries and deaths. They invented a new way to cut the grass, the laser lawnmower, and are seeking $400,000. They have contacted a large well-known company, we are unable to say which company due to signing a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, and they have shown interest in the laser lawnmower. However, they are wanting a prototype and proof of concept. Please help us to help others. Every dollar gets us closer to the goal. This lawnmower could prevent you or one of your loved ones from being injured or killed.
What a presentation, am I right? I was moved to tears. My wallet was flying out of my trousers to give it to this project. Nothing inspires confidence quite like having a text-to-speech voiceover because the people behind it are either too cowardly or just don't exist in the first place. It's a disaster. So they don't have anything to show. They don't even have like a fucking Microsoft Paint doodle of their laser lawnmower. All they have is the idea, like, what if we took a lawnmower and put lasers on it to cut the grass? It's like something Dr. Evil would come up with. I don't think I need to explain why it's a stupid idea, but I'm going to anyway. If you're using lasers to cut your grass, they have to be some strong fucking lasers, and it has to vaporize the grass. And you're using heat, because it's lasers, right? So you're taking heat to your lawn, which is, you're going to be rolling the dice every time you try and cut the grass with your laser lawnmower. You're just going to light your whole fucking backyard on fire. Imagine you just get the lawnmower out, old Grandpappy Cletus is out back with his push laser lawnmower, fires that bitch up, and it immediately just catches fire on the grass. You better pray that it rained last night before you bust out the laser lawnmower. Otherwise, you just fucking cremate yourself out there. It'll just be a spontaneous combustion. You'll incinerate when you fire that bitch up. I think a lot of people may overlook the cost. It is significantly cheaper to just take some flimsy pieces of metal and strap it on something that spins than it is to put fucking high caliber lasers on this device here. That would be like a fucking $50,000 lawnmower in order to have lasers strong enough to cut your grass. And oh my god, you better hope that you don't accidentally like lift the laser up, you just light your fucking legs on fire, or, you know, blast somebody's eyeballs out if it reflects off something. There is so much danger associated with this project. It's like they saw the number of 550,000 Americans being injured by lawnmowers and like, you know what? We can pump those numbers up. That's some rookie shit. We can do better. I'm surprised they weren't pitching like, what if we took a lawnmower and put C4, so you fire up the C4 to blow up the grass, you know? It's a crazy, stupid idea. Also, all their claims are wrong and just made up. I decided to look it up. I did know the United States leads the world in lawnmower-related deaths and accidents, but the number is not 550,000 Americans. The number is 35,000 Americans per year suffer some kind of lawnmower-related injury, which is still significantly higher than you should expect. I think that is an outrageously high number, but it's also not this apocalyptic figure that they keep posting on there. I also love the way they sign off their presentation. You need to donate to us in order to save your mother and your children, because the lawnmowers are coming, and they're not stopping. The only thing that can stop these lawnmowers is our laser lawnmower to meet them in armed combat, mortal combat on the battlefield. They like threaten you to donate, like, well, you know how much you love your parents, they might die to the lawnmowers pretty soon, and only we can stop it. Give us money. There's literally nothing here except this weird stock animation they paid 5 cents for in order to present this PowerPoint. There is nothing. They don't have a single design document. They say they're in talks with some large company who loved it, but then don't say the company, and then say they need to have a prototype and a concept design and shit. How convenient they can't name the company. I don't know who the fuck they talked to that said they loved this idea. Must have been Jimmy Neutron Corporation. I have no fucking clue, because this is the stupidest idea imaginable. Why would you want to take that much heat to an extremely flammable source? I can't imagine what their next project's going to be when this one inevitably fails. Maybe they'll come up with like the toaster bathtub floaty. It's a little floaty for you to put a toaster on, so when you're taking a bath, you can also make toast. And maybe it'll fall in and electrocute you. Who knows? But it's an invention, you know? I just love dumb ideas like this, and Kickstarter and Indiegogo are so full of them. I love shitty scams like this. It's fucking wonderful. But this one, they didn't even bother putting in any work. There's not even a single shred of effort put into it. They didn't even bother to voice it over themselves. They don't have any kind of design document or anything. It's just, what if we had a lawnmower with lasers on it? It's like something a child would pitch at a student class president running. You know, like, I'm gonna give all of you lasers on your shoes. Vote for me. Love it. I just wanted to share this because I had a big goofy smile on my face reading about this and watching it. The video is pretty boring. They just go into non-existent numbers they pulled out of their ass. Here's some statistics that we made up. Get scared, cause the lawnmower menace is coming. What if the most dangerous place in the universe wasn't hell? It was your own backyard. Look at these lawnmower injury statistics and piss in your fucking pants. Piddle in your britches. Because it's scary. But we have the solution. It's a lawnmower with lasers. Pussy? But yeah, anyway, that's about it. So yeah, I just read something so ridiculous that I've been sitting here for the last like 10 or 15 minutes just stewing in my own filthy anger, almost in like this meditative state, just trying to process the absurdity of it. And this is a situation I'm not even involved in, and yet still it has managed to steam my vegetables. Just because of how outrageous it is. This whole thing is so crazy, I just couldn't help myself but share it with all of you, so I hope you don't mind if I hit the dance floor real quick and bust it wide open for you here. So 2 months ago, some of you may have seen that Afro Man posted this music video, "Will You Help Me Repair My Door?" This went viral on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube as well, and basically it's Afro Man making a song out of a raid that was conducted on his property, based on narcotics and kidnapping claims, and it turns out it was completely bogus. They got nothing out of it, and they kind of ransacked this whole place, and he had cameras set up around his property that recorded all of it, so he made a music video kind of teasing them about it. He made a catchy little jingle about the whole thing, and the title is about, you know, them breaking his door and breaking his gate and just going over the damage that they caused there while looking really silly. And now he is being sued for it. He is being sued because the officers were offended, their feelings got hurt, and they're claiming emotional distress. He clowned on them, and it hurt their goddamn feelings so much that now they're coming after him legally. It wasn't enough to just destroy his property and pillage his home like they were Vikings, and also traumatize his kids apparently, which is something he mentions in his song. Now they want to slap him even more by issuing this lawsuit to him, which I think is just an absolute load of baloney. What a pile of dirty barnacles. 4 deputies, 2 sergeants, and a detective with the Adams County Sheriff's Office brought the suit earlier this month, claiming an invasion of privacy. Let me just stop you right there, Chief. An invasion of privacy, huh? You are on his private property. He has every right to record you. I'm not a lawyer. But would you also make this claim if you made yourself look fucking silly at a Starbucks who has security camera footage of you in their store? Like, let's say you spilt coffee or you were pouring coffee down your lieutenant's butthole, giving him an enema in public, and they're like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. We're going to sue you for an invasion of privacy because you filmed us. Would the argument work there in that place of business? I imagine private residents also still have the right to record you when you are on their property. They don't need your consent. You entered their domain. You stepped into their neck of the woods. I feel like they have the right to record you, but again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a stupid, paint-huffing idiot when it comes to the law, but I still just find the claim comical. An invasion of privacy. I guess them going through all of his shit, throwing his suits all over the place, breaking down his doors and all of that in his own home. I guess that's not an invasion of privacy. That's just a general wrongful invasion, considering this whole thing was completely bogus. It was a completely botched little raid here. They're claiming that Afro Man used their faces from the raid and used it in music videos and social media posts without their consent. Again, I don't think he needed that, considering they're on his private property in the first place, but regardless, they go on saying, it's caused them emotional distress, embarrassment, ridicule, loss of reputation, and humiliation. So these officers were born with glass bones and paper skin, huh? They can't take a few jokes on the internet. I imagine they're lying about this. I can't imagine they actually suffered any real emotional distress or anything. I don't think people were on the streets shooting spitballs at them as they walked by, pointing and laughing. Though they should, because they're fucking clowns for what they did here. I can't show the music video, but I highly recommend watching it. They look so fucking stupid in this thing. And it's all dog shit. Like, none of it was real to begin with here. It was just a completely failed raid from top to bottom. And they even had the audacity to disconnect his cameras when they noticed that the security cameras were on. It's just foul. Completely foul. I do hope they feel silly. But apparently, the silliness doesn't stop there. Maybe it's a humiliation fetish, because now they're suing him and making themselves look even stupider, which is crazy. I'll go ahead and boil all this down for you. The plaintiffs are seeking all of Afroman's profits from the use of their personas. That includes the proceeds from songs, music videos, and live event tickets, as well as any of the money that he made using their likeness in his brand and other merchandise. And they're also looking for an injunction to take down the videos. Afroman made like an entire album's worth of songs around this raid on his property, and they all fucking bang. It is so amazing. Afroman absolutely crushed it with this whole thing. Literally turned into like a money-making merchandise music video, like empire, all off of this failed raid from them. And now they're coming to put their hand in his cookie jar and take all of that money away that he made from this whole situation. Afroman is attempting to countersue them for the undeniable damage this had on my client's family, career, and property. Law enforcement officers were acting on a warrant that stated probable cause existed that drugs and drug paraphernalia would be found on his property and that trafficking and kidnapping had taken place there. But it turns out that boogeyman was completely wrong. All of those suspicions turned out to be unfounded, and the raid failed to turn up any real criminal evidence, so charges were never filed. And in Afroman's music video, through the cameras, he was able to notice that some of the deputies may have seized some of his money. He was talking about some missing money that took place during all of this, and whoa, can you believe it? After a subsequent review by the State Bureau of Criminal Investigations, they determined that the deputies had miscounted the amount seized during the raid itself. What a silly little error that was. What a goofy little freak accident that was, that some of the money was just a little miscounted, and some of it went missing, I guess? Oh, that's odd. So that's really this whole situation. They're suing because they looked fucking stupid here, and a lot of people were making fun of them for this whole situation. Afroman put them on blast and made an entire album's worth of content around it, and now they're out for revenge. So I can't show you the music video, but I highly encourage you watch it. I would like to show you a couple frames from it and just kind of talk about it because it is so fucking wild. I'll go ahead and crop their faces out so they can't feel offended or humiliated here. But, so this is one of the early shots. The officers were going around checking every nook and cranny of his property, I guess for kidnapping victims or like pounds upon pounds of weed. And for some reason, Officer Action over here, fucking Danger Commander, comes over and like looks behind the couch here as if he was gonna find like some kind of like goblin or something back there that he was gonna light up. Like, I understand they thought that there was some kidnapping element to this whole thing, but I mean, even in this situation, if there was a kid back there and you climb over the back of the couch, you're immediately pointing a gun in their face. I can't imagine that's the best way of looking for kidnapping victims. Like, the way they go through his whole property is very cartoonish. Here's a little shot of some of the team out here for the class field trip. One of them is dressed like he's ready for actual combat, as if he was gonna get in here like a G.I. Joe episode and fucking hunt down Cobra Commander in this property. So the first thing they did when they arrived is they busted through this gate here and broke it. So Afroman's already down one gate just from them showing up. And then they go to his door, and this is where you get the title of the song. They blast this shit in. This shit just gets rocketed off the frame here. So, you know, he's asking, you know, can you repair my door and my gate? Like, that's the whole point of the song. Like, can you repair this shit? And then also pointing out all of the other goofy things that happened. And here's where Afroman started to get a little suspicious about them potentially taking money from him, so he starts talking about it in this scene right here. This was already after going through and throwing around half of his belongings and like going through each and every suit pocket they could find. And here's the final shot. This is where the fun comes to an end. They disconnect his cameras, so they open up this panel in the wall and they disconnect all the shit, so he could no longer record the rest of what was going on the property. I just really had to talk about it because it got me fuming. To turn around and sue someone for hurt feelings after you were just in the wrong to begin with is just such a level of delusion that I can't help but be upset about. Afroman did nothing wrong. He recorded you guys and then took a bad situation that you have created. The claims you were there investigating, nothing was ever found, so it all seems like bullshit. And he took that and he made comedy out of it. He made content out of it to try and turn something shitty into something less shitty, and now he's being punished for it, or at least attempting to, from these extremely sensitive, I guess, officers that are super offended that people have been making fun of them for this. Like, it's pretty disgusting. So yeah, I just wanted to at least put this out there because it was something that I felt very strongly about. That's really about it. So yeah.
Okay.
This is China's artificial sun.
Where did they get $1 trillion to do this?
They probably sold a few Bored Apes.
We can do that. Oh, that's basically an MRI machine.
Do you guys know about Puma Punku? So I'm tired of everyone thinking that we're dumb. So I thought it would be good if we started educating each other on important topics, like in science, maybe history, grammar. I don't know what else is important. Gender studies, dance therapy,
economics.
Economics
is a big one.
NFTs.
Oh yeah,
that's the new.
And we'll round robin each episode. Who brings in an article?
Yes.
I choose grammar because that one sounds fun to educate you on.
This is a cool topic. It's science related.
Mhm.
You guys know I love antimatter. It's not antimatter.
Okay.
This is China's artificial sun, a $1 trillion project where they were testing nuclear fusion capabilities and were able to burn. Trying to remember the article. They were able to burn plasma up to 5 times stronger than the sun's heat. Thanks to Honey for sponsoring this video. I'm sure you all already know what Honey is. It's a free online shopping tool that installs in seconds, and it scours the internet, the massive world wide web cyberspace, looking for coupons to use at checkout on some of your favorite websites, you know, for shoes, video games, food. Most major websites that you're probably envisioning in your head right now are most likely compatible with Honey. And it saved customers billions of dollars. It saved them so much money, and it's a free installation that can just save you money. So Honey is just an extremely effective service. It's the #1 online shopping tool in America. So if you're interested in downloading it, make sure to click the link in the description below or to go to joinhoney.com/penguinz0. Just for some fun stats, the people that have used my code at Honey have saved $57,602 on items they've been purchasing recently. So yeah, big thanks to Honey, and make sure to check it out if you're interested. So their artificial sun, the purpose is it would be a clean source of energy. So if they're able to master nuclear fusion, they would be able to generate electricity without any greenhouse gas emissions. So they were able to, and this is, I double checked, it was 17 minutes. They were able to burn that plasma up to 267 million degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 times stronger than the sun's core, which burns at, I believe it was 24 million degrees Fahrenheit.
Wouldn't that be 10 times?
It said over 5 times.
Oh.
Now your question
is accurate.
That's right, that is. He's there. Hey, it's science, not math.
You're scientists, Matt.
Where did they get $1 trillion to do this?
They probably sold a few Bored Apes. I don't know. I didn't look into their financial
Yeah, I feel
history.
like that's just such a ridiculous
I know.
amount of money to have not heard about.
Yeah.
Well,
The spending of that.
They've
kind
been
of
working on it for years. It's called the Experimental Advanced Super Takomoka, I think it is.
Yes.
The abbreviation is EAST.
Why is it in English?
I'm not sure. That's just what the device is called.
And it's Chinese?
China did it, but France did it first. France has,
So why is it called the Takamoka then?
I don't know, but France, in 2003, France did something similar where they burned plasma up to like 240 million degrees Fahrenheit, and theirs is called like the extratubular something Tokamaka or some shit. I don't remember.
Big Rocket League, or Woogity Woogity Woogity, what's that?
Rocket Power.
Rocket Power fans.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So, we're on the cusp of solving nuclear fusion.
That is, and
For
honestly,
17-minute intervals.
yeah. As long as we don't need it for more than that.
Explain to me what plasma is, like exactly.
State of matter.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like what is
Yeah,
it?
what
That's all you
causes
need
it?
to know.
Because it's not a gas and it's not a liquid.
Right.
Yeah, is it below?
It's not even a
like-
solid. Like,
so-
how do you get plasma?
Well,
Yeah.
got it from the store or something. The idea behind it is
Okay, what's that?
they want to emulate how stars burn. Because stars, when
Yeah.
they emit energy, it's through a process of nuclear fusion. So they've tried
Well,
to imitate
hang on.
it.
So what is nuclear fusion?
You know, like,
That's how, I mean, nuclear fusion is how the sun burns, right? It's like the hydrogen particles are colliding, that is fusion, they're fusing together, and any excess energy is what the heat is.
I
When,
feel like
when two atoms fuse together, they release a crazy amount of energy. It's kind of scary. They are building a miniature sun with a crazy amount of energy. What if they're using this as like a weapon? Like, what if you launched that at the moon? Would it just like implode on itself, like firing the sun at the moon?
Well, it'd have to get there in 17 minutes, otherwise it's just gonna fizzle out.
That's true. Yeah.
Are there like critics of this? Are there like naysayers?
Yeah.
I've only seen
There are
positive
protests in the
things.
street.
This is above the normal level where people get upset. Like, you don't have anti-vaxxers looking into nuclear fusion usually.
True.
But there are people who like protested when the first particle collider was built. Like,
they
thought
thought
it
it
would black hole and
thought it
stuff
would end
like
the world.
that.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, everyone was like, I think I was in middle school, and I was in like social studies class or something, and we read an article about it, and everyone was like waiting, like they're about to do it. We're all like sitting there like waiting to see what's gonna happen. We're about to die.
Imagine you all did get swallowed in
That reminds me of what was the Aztec calendar?
Mayan calendar.
The Mayan calendar,
What
yeah,
was
2012.
Yeah, I remember sitting in
Yeah.
the room with my friends on 2012, and I was like, this is where we stop
That was,
living.
that was the most stressful December of my life.
Yeah.
I had planned that entire year to lose my virginity before that date because I was like, I don't want to die a virgin, and I know it's coming. I gotta hurry up.
Were you successful?
Nope.
Oh,
I didn't make the cut. You guys know about Puma Punku?
That
I
sounds
think
familiar.
Go ahead and tell
Wait,
us.
is that the sport?
No. It's,
Okay, tell me
it's
about
about
Puma.
ancient aliens. It's some.
Oh, you told me
We've
about
gone
that.
so far from science, we're going to conspiracy theories.
No,
I think it's South America.
It is.
I think
I'm
it
pretty
is,
sure
yeah.
yeah. Or
So,
Middle America.
It's a ruins somewhere in there, and my dad thinks it's the most convincing evidence for aliens having lived with us at some point because all of the rocks that survived are like these really finely cut rocks in the shape of H's for some reason.
Oh.
So it's these giant H's, which he says aliens laser cut for us.
Mm.
And
Nice.
in Puma Punku, or at least according to my dad, there's an airstrip for UFOs.
Oh.
So where all of those rocks are, like if you zoom out, it's apparently like this giant strip that's plowed or
Oh,
something
I
full of
gotcha,
like
okay.
rocks or some shit. So he says it must have been like a landing strip
We
for
should
aircrafts.
visit Puma Punku.
We should.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. All right, now getting back to nuclear
Oh yeah,
fusion.
back to nuclear
Yeah.
fusion.
Right.
Can you show us like a picture of the machine?
Yeah.
I'm actually really
I think
curious.
we should try to do it, but with like a budget of maybe like $10,000.
Oh.
See
and like
how hard we
prove,
can
see if
make
we can
something.
prove that we can do it.
Imagine
too.
we revolutionize the world by making budget tokamak.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's
basically an MRI machine, but big.
yeah.
And for a
We
sun.
just, we just have to go to the plasma store
Yeah.
and light it on fire, right? Or something like
We're
that.
done.
Yeah.
But if we had a plasma TV and put
And
it
put
in an MRI machine.
Right. It's genius.
The world is dead.
Imagine. It just starts going around and there's just a sun growing
Yeah,
in the middle of the MRI machine. What if you took the Tokomoko
It sounds like we're naming Japanese snacks that we
from
like.
like Japanese Taco Bell items? But how fast do you think you could make an engine move if you had, let's call it a 6-cylinder engine, each with its own little Tokomoko, pulling them?
I think
with all
we
explosions?
would have reached the limitations of like the machine itself.
Yeah, it probably would
It
just
would just
blow
go.
up.
It would
yeah,
fall
go
apart.
That's
up
true. We
and
need to
down.
make a much
Vaporize
better.
itself.
But what if we
engine.
made the machine out of plasma?
Oh.
And then put the plasma
Can
in
you
it?
do that? I still don't know what
don't
plasma
know.
is. Like, can you do
Can
that?
you show us a picture of plasma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb, fact check. Were we right on everything?
So I don't know if the camera could see him, but we were.
Yeah,
He gave a big thumbs up.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
He's tearing up right now.
Yep, it was beautiful, honestly. It's the Tokamak or Tokamak. It's Russian originally.
Ah.
So do the Russians also have a little sun?
Yes, so it was originally created in 1958 by the Russians.
1958?
Yeah, so
Holy
fusion's been
shit.
around. We've understood the concept of fusion for a long time. It's just how to make it last longer and longer and longer.
Like 17 minutes.
He was completely right. It's a more viable way of getting less greenhouse gas or no greenhouse gases.
Hell yeah.
almost. And fusion reactors last a lot longer than fission reactors, which is what we have right now.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite. That's
Yeah.
tearing atoms apart.
Except it's yes, but the problem is we can't get a fusion reactor to last more than 17 minutes.
Why haven't we gone to every workout gym in the world and just attached like turbines to all the equipment? You know how much energy you could generate just
You
from
just
people going to
reminded
work
me.
out? Am I wrong?
I sat with a group of friends
Well, why?
once, and we ideated on building a gym that was all based around energy creation to power the gym. So like if you're deadlifting heavy and you drop it, every pad is an energy pad that takes
Like
the
all you have to do is
energy
spin the turbine.
to
So if you
power-
like
right.
made the machines like spin some kind of turbine,
So are you
and just
picturing
gather
like
the
how
energy.
donkeys pull the ropes
Yeah.
around the pole? Like
Yeah.
you're saying our workout is just turning
It's
turbines.
fueling the city.
I wonder where the diminishing returns really start hitting.
Well,
like,
once
can
we make our own, we can study it.
That's true. Once we get that MRI and plasma TV, we're
we should
golden.
be
But
able to observe.
like, do we need to go above 70 million degrees? Do we need to go above 1,000,000?
Check on your fact sheet over there, Professor. The sun's core burns at 24 million degrees Fahrenheit?
27.
27
Very
million
close.
degrees
That's
Fahrenheit.
pretty close.
How many Celsius?
It's probably it's more than 100, I'd say.
Yeah, of course.
At least.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think we need to go hotter than the sun,
So I-
especially
no.
not 5
I just ran
times
some
hotter.
quick
That's
numbers
dangerous.
over here,
Yeah.
and if we dropped it to 1,000,000, in theory we could run it for 20 hours. So I feel like we should be focusing on that to see how much energy we can get from
Long-term
1,000,000
gains, yeah.
degrees.
I feel like maybe we should work on using it first,
Right.
and then work on getting it hotter.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we find out 1,000,000 can power a whole city for a year in those 20 hours, that's good.
That's pretty good.
That's
Then-
pretty good, yeah.
Then we can start going
And we only
hotter.
need like a lot of suns.
Yeah.
We got to store the power.
Yeah.
My recommendation is those potato batteries they make in middle
Oh,
school.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have so
Okay.
many potatoes
That's
in the
true.
world.
Yeah.
That's true.
If we just hook them up to each
Well,
house.
Matt,
we're
you
good.
bring up a really good point. Why don't power plants just use potatoes and
Instead of
batteries?
coal.
True.
Instead of coal. That's
Right.
probably far less like greenhouse gassing.
That's true. I think it's the Irish wouldn't be happy.
I think we're probably running out of potatoes.
What if we took all the balloons and the excess helium
Oh,
and
just-
attached
oh,
it to the end of the
yeah.
turbine?
That's codenamed
and
Kids
always
Next Door
lifting
shit.
them up, so they're always moving.
That's
But
fucking
how,
genius.
if they're all pointing, like if this is your wind turbine and you've got, let's say there's 5 spokes
Wait,
on
no,
your
no, no.
turbine,
No,
they're all
it's-
lifting up, it won't move.
No,
Matt, because it'll be pulling it like in one direction.
No,
so
it's
always,
genius. It's
like-
genius. You have the helium balloons at the top and uninflated balloons at the bottom, and then using the energy from the excess helium, you fill the bottom balloons while you pull it out of the top balloon, so it's
Yeah.
constantly
So you-
spinning,
you put
generating
it-
energy.
Because the helium will always go to the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
You have it connected.
The helium's
Right,
always
there's
gonna
the
go up.
perfect amount of helium that it dissipates by the time it gets
Yeah.
to the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then you use that excess helium to fill the
Yeah.
balloons at the bottom, and it goes forever.
This is science.
That's
Yeah.
perpetual
Do you
motion.
think this is what they do like at NASA? They're like, boys and girls, we gotta get to Mars.
Guys, I think we should build that.
Have you been to the grocery store and they have the
I have.
helium balloons in the
Yes.
corner? We just
Yeah.
take a lot of those and just
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, we
just-
siphon it
Yeah,
away.
they can
I have
figure out
a
how to
helium
make the
tank in
Yeah.
your garage.
Yeah, I
I bought
had-
that 2 years ago for
That's
a
gonna be worth
$1
$1 million in a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah,
years.
it's like an NFT. We're sitting on it.
This is so fucking simple. Put a giant balloon on top of the Tuckmuck. So as it spits out the helium, we can
It fills
transport
the
it across the
balloon.
country,
That's true,
giving
yeah.
energy
That's
to
also
everyone.
like some Pixar shit of how to
Yeah, we're
steal
making-
the power plant. We hook up a balloon, the helium comes out, and we float it to where we want it.
You've seen Up.
Yes.
We just turn that into the Tuckmuck and
Yeah,
fly it around
this
with
is
a
like
dog and an old man.
Up meets Despicable Me.
We're getting somewhere.
We're
now.
going
Yeah.
to steal
I
the
think we're-
Tuckmuck.
I think we've come up with how to create endless energy.
Yeah.
We really have.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we could get a seat at the UN.
I think so.
Yeah,
Helium boys.
Probably by the 3rd or 4th time we go over the science here, they'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, we need
Yeah.
these guys on the
They'll
council.
be like, we said they were stupid the first time, but there's
There's
something
their
in
helium turbine.
Yeah, that helium potato turbine really taking off.
Look, I used to think that they were dumb, but every time I look out my window and see that Tuckmuck flying through the sky, Godspeed.
Oh, just imagine a little cannon up in the air, kind of like how we just launched, not the Hubble, what did,
The other one.
David Webb.
Oh,
yeah.
the Dave and Buster's one.
Yeah,
right?
Dave and Buster's. Wait, pocket that. I'm coming back to Dave and Buster's. But imagine a little cannon that runs our civilization where every time our sun fizzles out or explodes, we just scoop it away and out comes another sun.
But you
Like
have
a
to like
t-shirt?
you have
Yeah,
to,
t-shirt cannon for
you have to
sun.
have fired the new sun to be in
Perfect.
place
Yeah.
at the time.
Oh, I'm talking
the
like the
exact second
cannon's
other sun
here.
goes out.
Like the cannon is.
But whose job is it to like
Can you-
within a couple minutes like guess that the sun's
All
like?
right, so this
Well,
is
no,
the,
can
like,
you
press the
imagine
button.
the satisfaction, the primal like joy of when the sun goes out, you pull the lever and just hear boom,
So
and
here's
you launch
another thing.
another
It just like
sun out.
flickers and comes back on.
Danny had a really good point though. Somebody's gonna have to do it. So once a year we pick somebody, You guys can tell me how we pick, but they get shot up into space and they have to fire the cannon.
It's the person who creates the most energy at our gym.
Oh my God!
Gets
Well,
punished.
No,
it's
the least
like
amount of
sacrifice. It's an honorable.
Yeah, but no one
position.
wants to be sacrificed.
All right, so why don't we do the least at our gym?
Yeah,
Because now they have to go create the most. Like, it's
Yeah.
symbolism.
Yeah.
You sucked. Go save the. But what if they get really mad?
I was gonna say, don't you want someone who like
wants to do it? Yeah, because if they
Yeah.
don't pull that lever, there's no sun.
That's true.
What
We
if
need somebody
like
trustworthy.
it's like one of the winners of like a Mr. Beast video?
Oh,
Like that's
wow.
the you win
You get
the
to put the
ability
sun
to change
back.
the sun.
So I think you guys are on a roll. One of the biggest problems is containing the fusion reactor.
Yes.
Obviously. It gets super hot, as we discussed.
Didn't they used to do in the olden days? Not, I'm talking like real old. Like they did ceramic batteries. Wasn't that a thing?
What if we build a big pizza oven around it?
Right. Like a kiln.
bricks.
Yeah, and then we could sell the pizza and make fat
Yeah.
stacks of cash.
All
No,
right.
no high five. Yeah, great work,
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah, I learned so much.
Nice. Hooray for science!
Earlier this week, you may have noticed that I uploaded a video called R. Kelly Has Created a Masterpiece, which was taken down 4 minutes after its upload by R. Kelly himself. Now, when I say that, it's a bit of an exaggeration because I'm pretty sure R. Kelly doesn't know how to use a computer, but R. Kelly's label took it down 4 minutes after I posted it. And during this time, I've been going over the legality of reposting it in other places, and I just feel like it's probably not worth the risk. Albeit the video is 100% fair use, that label just seems like it'd be crazy enough to just go to court for it and waste a lot of money, so I'm not gonna fuck with that. So instead I'll give you a video talking about R. Kelly's masterpiece, Trapped in the Closet. I'm sure a lot of you watching this don't even know R. Kelly ever created music. The only thing people know him for these days is his legendary pissing on women and his Ethiopia concert where he sang, "Do you have your passports? Did you get your shots? Do you want to come back with Rob to America?" So, I mean, that's the only legacy he has, but he used to make music, and in 2005, he released a little banger called Trapped in the Closet. Trapped in the Closet is 33 chapters of a soap opera that sounds like it was written by a 4th grader for a creative English project. It is the most batshit insane and unbelievably comedic, unintentionally comedic piece of art that any human being has ever created. Trapped in the Closet is like if Tommy Wiseau butt-fucked Neil Breen and Neil Breen started splurting out soap opera lines and R. Kelly sang them. The shit is wacky. It is perhaps one of the best pieces of fiction that I think has ever been written. It is genuinely like Homer's Odyssey for R&B. It's like the Epic of Gilgamesh for music. I think I said it best during the stream I did at twitch.tv/moistcritical when we watched the first 12 chapters. It's broken up in chapters. The first 12 covers the story of Sylvester, James, Rufus, Chuck, Kathy, Gwendolyn, Rosie the Nosy Neighbor, Bridget. It covers a whole cast of characters that all go through this incredible series of events that occur over the course of a single day. It's like 24, but without the action and significantly more cheating. The story, in a nutshell, is about Sylvester, who cheated on his wife with a woman named Kathy, and then Kathy's husband came back during the events, and Kathy panicked and put R. Kelly in the closet. And from there begins this incredible cascading effect, this butterfly effect, and all of these narrative points start stacking on top of each other in such a beautiful manner. It's like watching a Lego set come together if it was being built by Jeffrey Dahmer. And for some reason, Sylvester, the main character, always likes to bring out his Beretta. Half of the time, if anything even remotely looks out of whack, R. Kelly reaches into his fucking butthole and pulls out the Beretta. And it is always a treat. It is truly a treat. I don't want to spoil anything about the narrative because I highly encourage everyone to hear the first 12 chapters at least once in their life because it is impossible to see any of it coming. There is so many twists and turns that make no fucking sense. I was half expecting aliens to come in and start cheating on their wives around chapter 6 and 7. I thought time travel might start playing a role in the narrative with the way things were developing the plot lines. The shit was crazy. The shit was off the fucking wall. It is the most... It's from the mind of a genuine lunatic. I absolutely loved it. And this should be a lesson to all of you. Don't miss the streams I do at twitch.tv/moistcritical, because you'll miss some shit like this. We watched all 12 chapters for the first album, and it was truly beautiful. Now, I can't recommend chapters 13 through 21, because they're just not nearly as good. I'll show you the clip from the stream after we wrapped up chapter 12, where I really put into words exactly how I feel about the following chapters. Now, I realize I haven't exactly told you what Trapped in the Closet is. Is it music? Is it just spoken audiobook type shit? It is a soap opera that is sung by R. Kelly. It's over a simple beat, but the beat's interesting because there's actually piss droplets mixed in with the beat. It's actually one of the core sounds of the beat. So you have little droplets of urine hitting water as a focal point of the beat. So it's really lovely, and it's super fucking goofy. I do have to say, though, and it's not easy for me to say, the next arc in the Trapped in the Closet anime manga is shitty. Like, not like good shitty, like the first chapter, the first arc, 1 through 12. Chapters 13 through 23 are just outright uninteresting, and it pains me to say that. It really does, because for some reason, R. Kelly lost his vision. He lost the roadmap. It's like the Star Wars new trilogy. Something happened in his creative process. And after Kathy admits to Gwendolyn and the circle is complete, everyone's now cheating with everyone and everyone knows about it, he didn't know where to take the story. So in chapters 13 through 23, he tries to weave in this, like, crime plot line, which never pays off. And I can play it if you want, but it's really just kind of boring. It's just, I can't think of anything else to describe besides boring. Plus he has like 2 comedy intermissions, full chapters dedicated to comedy intermissions, which don't land. I don't know what happened with 13 through 23, but I really wish it wasn't there. It's total filler arc. It lost its way. It's like the rise of the Skywalker of Trapped in the Closet. And unfortunately, episodes 23 through 33 are blocked in the US. So we can't finish the series. But the good news is, if R. Kelly doesn't go to jail, he is promised to release 41 new chapters. So, you know, R. Kelly's done some fucked up shit, but is it worth sending him to jail if we don't get more Trapped in the Closet? You know, you gotta weigh pros and cons here. Like, maybe we leave R. Kelly out long enough to get the next 41 chapters out, and then we throw his ass in jail, you know what I mean? Because it'd be a fucking crime if he doesn't finish the story. Now, it's important to note before diving into the Trapped in the Closet expanded cinematic universe, it is supposed to be taken seriously. R. Kelly defends this as a non-comedic, serious narrative that he's crafting, which makes it so much better. It truly does. I just don't think you could write something as bad as this if you're doing it on purpose, and it's lovely to see that R. Kelly has that delusion to keep writing it so poorly and so expertly shitty. It's a rare treat, an amalgamation of utter garbage mixed with utter fucking garbage, combining to form this masterpiece of shit. It's beautiful, and I had no idea it was this goddamn good. I'd already seen the parodies, heard the parodies and the jokes about Trapped in the Closet, but I never could have pictured it being the way it is. So again, I highly recommend you at least throw it on Spotify once and get through the first 12 chapters, because it is a ride. It is an actual fucking thrill ride from start to finish. I mean, that's about it. So yeah. What's up everybody, it's Critical. I've mentioned this in the past, but I love to watch YouTube drama unfold. It's very entertaining and very pathetic to watch a bunch of grown man children go at each other and make exposed videos on one another. Oh, you know, he's got a small penis, it's real turbo small. iDubbbz big old small penis, it's tiny stuff. And then there's going to be 3 videos on that. They stretch the link to 10 minutes or above to soak as much ad revenue out as possible. I enjoy it very much. It gives me a hoot. And recently I've kind of fallen behind on keeping up with the YouTube drama wave, so I decided to check in on YouTube's resident racist lunatic Joey Salads to see what he's up to. And I went to his vlog channel, and he did a really clever prank where he mailed piss to a bunch of YouTubers, including an 8-year-old boy. And I just thought it was a really clever idea that I really think we should watch together.
So this is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be mailing my urine to a list of YouTubers. Let's see. Got my urine. Take your penis out. Take the penis out.
In case you're unfamiliar with this troglodyte, this man who looks like Action Hank from Dexter's Lab is Joey Salads. I don't really need to give an introduction for him. I'm sure most of you know who he is. Just a YouTube prankster who fakes all of his shit and does a lot of sketchy shit. Now, this caricature of a man has just hatched an ingenious idea that not any 4-year-old could. He's gonna take his penis out and put his pee-pee in baggies and put it in the mailbox and send it to people. Wow, what a joke. It's fucking brilliant. Now, I don't know what it is about this man exactly, but he's just weird to watch. He just looks so uncomfortable in his own skin all the time. It's like he's a skin suit for a cockroach underneath and it just doesn't know how to operate it properly. He's just like this hollow vessel and it's just so strange.
Fuck, it stinks. It's good though, right?
Oh, hell yeah, it's good, bro. Smelly pee-pee rules. It's number 1.
Yeah, I guess so.
First lucky guess is FaZe Rug. Next one is the FaZe Clan.
I like how his friend had to really sound that out, struggled through the first word. The first lucky guest is Fazrug. You see, I think the most troubling thing of this video isn't that Joey Salads is mailing piss to other YouTubers. It's that other people were on board and thought it was just a great idea too. You got a cameraman, you got this illiterate dude trying to help out. There's just a whole team behind this.
You should put a note in. Joey Salad's piss.
So this middle part of the video is pretty much them just putting their collective heads together, trying to figure out how to put the bags of piss in the envelopes. Ooh, I took a physics class in middle school. I've got this covered, boys. No, but wait, I took woodworking. I'm in charge. You know, just a bunch of bullshit. And it's truly a Herculean task for them to accomplish this.
I don't know if you want to put a little sex note, because this is for Sniper Wolf.
Oh, great idea, bro. You're right. This one's going to a girl. They have vaginas. Make sure to say something about her pussy. Yeah, just, oh, you got a big old clitoris. I want to put my smooth sailing wiener on top of. You know, I'd like to just assume that this isn't really his urine, though, to be honest, because he's faked everything he's done on his channel. I don't see why this would be an exception, and especially just looking at his piss jugs, it's pretty fucking dark. So unless this man just never drinks water, I'm leaning towards it being fake urine. It looks like lemon drop shots in the jugs, and it probably tastes about the same as lemon drop shots. But you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is where he draws the line. You know what? I will fake anything but my urine. I swear to God, I could go down in history as the worst fake prankster ever, but I will go down as a man who did not fake his urine jugs.
Ugh.
Holy shit, check out that magic trick. A douchebag spun a bag of urine. Are you not impressed? I like how he has to stop the operation just to play with his bag of piss a little bit. I also like how he looks at it really hard for a second just to confirm the authenticity of it. Yes, this is my pee-pee. I'm gonna need to take a swig of it though just to make sure it's my brand.
Tanner Crack. I don't want to butcher his name on camera, so...
I don't know his name. Tanner who?
Tanner.
Yeah, he doesn't want to butcher his name on camera. Meanwhile, he has butchered every other name on that entire fucking list. And then he starts to get a little offended. Tanner filled the mesh. Fuck, I didn't know I was gonna get quizzed on this, Joey. Fuck!
Bogarden Dick.
Oh yeah, that sounds right. One of the most common last names in all of America. Bogarden Dick.
See what you make me do, Joe? Butcher people's names when they watch it now.
You see what you make me do, Joey? You make me look so dumb in front of my internet friends. You know I didn't finish Hooked on Phonics.
Who's Jake Angeles?
Jake Angeles?
For 1 second, I thought he got a name right until he was corrected. He has genuinely not been able to read one of the names correctly yet.
Christmas cards. Oh, they gotta open it on camera.
So Douche Tits McGee and his excited Oompa Loompa sidekick start shoveling the piss-filled envelopes into the mailbox and creating an awful Christmas jingle. And that's about all she wrote. You got Igor over there on the left, who's probably smuggled one of those piss-filled envelopes for himself to enjoy later. Just open it up and take a big old huff. To be honest, I actually feel bad insulting that guy, because I'm actually kind of concerned he might have some type of mental deficiency. And if that is the case, I would feel extraordinarily bad. But for now, I'm just roping him into the same douche category as Joey Salads, because that's how it is portrayed in this video. And I would like to reiterate just how awful that Christmas jingle is. But who knows, maybe it'll catch on. Maybe next Christmas we'll all be having a salad-themed Christmas get-together. We huddle around a fire, we chant that song, we ululate that jingle, and we open our piss-filled envelopes sent from Joey Salads, who climbed down our chimney and pissed right into our baggies and left it for us.
During a fan mail bid.
That's
now
it.
We go home and wait for
the
next upload.
For our friends.
For our friends. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned to their videos. If they show the piss, tell them who sent the piss.
Words very well spoken, Joey. Now, you've truly outdone yourself with this prank. It's absolutely amazing. It's nothing short of awe-inspiring. I can't wait for Joey Salad's next prank where he ejaculates on the heads of sleeping homeless people. Man, that'll just be great. Oh, goodness me, I think I've hatched an even better prank idea. Really turn it around on the master himself. What if all of us took a shit in a bowl, put it in a box, and sent it to Joey Salads? So that way when he gets it, there'll be shit everywhere and it'll smell like poopy. Whoa, we could call it a shitty salad surprise. Damn, what a great prank. Fuck you, Joey Salads. Now, I mentioned in the start of the video that he sent one of these piss envelopes to an 8-year-old boy. Well, here's that 8-year-old vlogging boy receiving that piss bag.
It looks like something's leaking. So, yeah. So when we opened it up, lo and behold,
Joey Salad's pee.
What?
Ew.
Happy birthday. It's just what you asked for. So yeah, they get his piss, and then they go on to explain that they're not upset about it because it got them more publicity and exposure because Scarce talked about it in a video. But the mom made sure to mention that it is actually illegal what Joey Salad just did there. And it truly is. You're not allowed to send piss to an 8-year-old contrary to popular belief. I know, right? What are the odds? It's surprising. What he did should have put him on a sex offenders list according to law. Now, I know most of you out there realize that a sex offenders list has been pretty fucked recently since people are getting put on it for just peeing in public or fucking tying their shoes within 5 miles of a middle school. But according to law, he should be on a sex offenders list now. And if nothing else, it's just fucking weird. This man made a conscious decision. Oh, here's an 8-year-old who vlogs. I'm gonna send him my piss. I don't like your vlogs, loser. Joey Salad's piss. Yeah, You like that? Got you good, huh? Great prank. What the fuck are you thinking, Joey Salads? I'm asking you directly. I hope you've watched this far. I want to know what your thought process is when you take piss and send it to an 8-year-old or you fake a racist prank. I'm just very curious as to what goes through that empty fucking cranium of yours. It's just baffling. But yeah, so this is Joey Salad's magnum opus of pranks. So I'm glad we got to watch it together. That's it. See ya. Now that the government's finally taken the condom off of the UFO classified information and went raw dog, gave us all the info we could ever desire on UFOs, I think it's important that we now arm ourselves with knowledge on what to do in the event of a UFO landing. This is the official tutorial on what to do if a UFO lands near you. This will be shown to classrooms worldwide, similar to Stop, Drop, and Roll for fire safety. This will be UFO landing safety. This was presented at the Pentagon by Chief Animation Specialist Bran Borgoggle. So you made a dog out of clay and then made a wish upon the 7 Dragon Balls to bring it to life, and huzzah, there he is, your newfound companion. You're at the produce section.
Buppy.
You see your Buppy. You run over to your Buppy, you love your Buppy. You practice kung fu in front of him every day. Looking like a fucking stick figure animation from 2004. Your moves are second to none. Ip Man stands no chance.
Oh. Buffo. Look, Buffo.
You ask Bilbo to look into the sky so he can watch the flying IED with you. Its course is unsteady. The pilot is clearly drunk. You can't believe your eyes, so you pull out your Wii U to get a better look. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Low battery.
You haven't charged it since launch day, since no games have come out for it since launch day. The aerial submarine lands, you panic. But you're also curious. You find a tree made out of steel wool. A green Easter egg phases through the ship and yawns. After repeated moans, grunts, and sounding like a fucking Snorlax, it's become very clear they've sent the stupidest alien in their fleet. Every UFO enthusiast will tell you, aliens love hopscotch. Your brave Buppy attempts to make first contact, but is betrayed and zapped by an extendo dildo shranken and then eaten by the gluttonous gut of Invader Zim. After a hearty meal, the alien pretends to sleep. He's fooled you because you've Liu Kang bicycle kicked your way all the way over to the remote control here. You've now sprung his trap. And now, like cum to a tissue, you're stuck. Caught in between a rock and a harder dick, you find the only way to get out of this mess is with the kung fu moves you've been practicing. You begin showing off your Wing Chun. The battle is hard. It's a tough battle on both sides. Equally skilled fighters from different dimensions, different time periods, different parts of the universe, but equally skilled in the art of combat. The alien's capoeira is nothing to scoff at. Meanwhile, Little Harold's moves are also pretty decent. He goes for the old classic purple ejaculation, shrinks the alien to a ball, and turns his spaceship into a flower. A classic maneuver. One I'm sure we're all very familiar with. And that, my friends, is how you deal with a UFO landing near you. I want you to really take a good hard look at me right now. You're gazing upon peak male performance. However, at just a glance, you can probably conclude that I'm not the smartest person this planet has to offer. I'm no stranger when it comes to doing stupid things. I once made chloramine gas in my bathtub because I was trying to kill a cockroach. I mixed ammonia and bleach like the world's worst chemist. It's one of the #1 things you're not supposed to do because it creates a poisonous gas. I waged biological warfare on one of the dumbest insects on the planet and lost. I nearly killed myself and put my girlfriend's life in jeopardy because I fucking smoke screened our entire bathroom with poisonous fumes. And it didn't even kill the cockroach. That little bitch was immune to it. I don't know if they have like some kind of natural immunity to chloramine gas or if he just had a little gas mask on under there. But regardless, it was reckless and very silly. It's a miracle I haven't electrocuted myself on an electric bug zapper because I'm attracted to the bright lights on it. Point I'm making is, I'm not the smartest person on the planet, but even I'm not stupid enough to buy this game. This blatant scam. I call it a scam, but it's actually more of like a joke, I'm pretty sure. So this is a $2,000 Steam game called The Hidden and Unknown, and a lot of people are talking about it on Twitter right now, and I've been getting tagged in this post a ton because I have a bit of a reputation for buying these outrageously priced dog shit experiences on Steam just for the sole purpose of being able to wiggle my finger and celebrate that I'm the only person that wasted the money to play it. Thus, I'm the only person to have ever beat it. I've done this for 2 games now. One of them was Super Fight for $200, and more recently it was Dream, Super Dream, Dreamland, fucking Shark Boy, Lava Girl, Super Dream. I forgot the name of it. Like Never-Ending Dream or something, and that was like $130. But then there's this little goofball here, The Hidden and Unknown, coming in at a whopping 2,000 oysters, which is far too steep for me to justify a joke. It's just not happening. And hopefully no one will ever play it, but, you know, you're probably asking yourself, maybe it's worth it. You know, what if this is the best game ever made? What if this game is so powerful it actually makes you taller and more attractive by playing it? And to that I say, bah humbug, why don't we just go ahead and take a look at the gameplay that they've released from it? Golly, it's got everything you could ever need. Story, future, mystery, prediction, unpredictable, thus making your prediction fucking worthless. So it also has contradiction. I mean, you'll never need to play another game again. $2,000 for the last game you'll ever need. What a deal. Not only is the confusion guaranteed, but the financial burden is as well. Also, it's hard, strong, easy, weak, and hard. It's, I guess, a visual novel, because, I mean, the screenshots they show, you know I'm not a big fan of football, Brian said as he was entering the football field. So it looks like this is a really shittily thrown together visual novel thing. Though I'm going to just speculate that there's not even an actual visual novel or game here at all. This was purely made to just try and get a single sale from a curious weirdo like me who sometimes can't resist the urge to just see what led to such a high price point for something like this. Now, Pyrocynical did an actual deep dive on this studio without buying the game, thank God. And it is such an interesting story. I highly recommend you check out his video to get the entire scoop. But I'm just going to go ahead and scratch the surface here. So ProX or Prox team that made this pile of shit is trying very hard to just squeeze money out of dumb fucking idiots. I'm assuming the person behind it recognized that people are really willing to just throw money at nothing, like NFTs and shit, so they've made nothing for them to throw money at. And it's really fucking amazing. So he's made an Instagram account where he just takes Reddit questions and then has a text-to-speech bot read it for him. And then he's made a YouTube channel that does shorts that are the same thing, where it takes Reddit comments and has a text-to-speech bot read it for him over Minecraft gameplay. But when you go to their website, which Pyro covers all of this in depth, I'm just giving you the basics. But when you go to the website, they even have like Patreon tiers that are so unbelievably outrageous. It makes it very clear that this is supposed to be a joke, but one that they do also kind of hope in the back of their mind gets them a little bit of money. So let's take a look at their tiers here. For $12 a month, you get to join their Discord, where you get the supporter role and then a loyal supporter role after 12 months. So you're paying $12 a month for a Discord role, or excuse me, not even $12, 12 pounds a month, or 12 quid a month for the Discord role. But then, you know, the real bargain, the actual steal here for, you know, bang for your buck is 23.50 quid a month, and you get the exact same benefits as the 12 quid a month tier, but you get it in half the time. So you can get the loyal supporter badge in 6 months instead of 12. But then for 70 quid a month, you get the exact same benefits as the other two tiers, but then you get the loyal supporter badge 3 months instead of 6. Which, you know, how can you argue with value like that, to be honest? You know, Discord badges, that's worth more than gold, honestly. That's a better investment than real estate. If you're debating between, like, putting a down payment on a house or being a loyal supporter of the hidden and the unknown, I think the choice is obvious if you're looking for financial stability in the future. It's the Discord badges. So, I think this is fantastic. I also love that they're playing hardball. For 70 quid a month, you don't even get the loyal supporter badge instantly. You still have to subscribe for 3 months at least to get that fucking badge. But this is not their highest tier. Their highest tier, and the one that I think they make it very obvious that this is supposed to be satirical or just goofy and stupid for the sake of being stupid, is their 4th tier, which costs 1.4 million quid a month. Pyro's face really tells the whole story. That's a face of a man who's perplexed and contemplating whether or not this is worth it, you know, weighing the pros and cons here. And I gotta tell you, after reading what you get for 1.4 million quid a month, you'd be a fool not to sign up. You get all the Discord badges, and you also get extra voting power in all that matters. You know, that means presidential voting, you know, like this extends well beyond just the games. You know, it's voting power in everything that matters. Fucking elections for places you don't even live, I imagine. And you even get your name mentioned on their website. And, you know, Prox is a huge powerhouse of a website. It's up there with, like, YouTube and Twitter when it comes to traffic. So having your name there, that's big. And then, of course, the cherry on top of the cake, and probably what most people would be most interested in, is you get a free copy of all the projects they create, including the hidden and unknown. So you can pay 1.4 million quid a month in order to get a $2,000 game for free. You're losing money not buying that, obviously. I'm pretty sure this is all just supposed to be a big joke, but it also highlights something that I find interesting about Steam, where there's absolutely no protocols in place to tackle something like this, which is clearly just a blatant scam. They could have charged $10,000 for this game, and maybe some 8-year-old whose parents' credit card is attached to their Steam account sees it, and the bewilderment and the mystery is just too much for them, so they buy it using their parents' credit card, and then their parents have no idea, and then they wake up, in a week or two and wonder why they can no longer afford the electricity bill. Of course, that'd be the parents' fault because they're doing a shit job parenting, but that's parenting in the modern age, where you just sit a kid down in front of an iPad, or you just sit them down in front of a computer and let them run wild. You see this shit all the time with, like, in-app purchases for mobile games. I imagine that might be what this is for. Making a game that would appeal to a child for a really high price, so they buy it one time with their parents' credit card, and now you just made $2,000 for nothing. It's pretty wild. And I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because a lot of people were telling me to buy this. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. I can almost justify spending $200 for Super Fight, which is a single level and a 30-second game, but $2,000 is so far out of that realm, it makes me sick. I would absolutely puke if I even considered this for more than 3 seconds. So no, I'm not buying this game. I'm not that stupid. So yeah, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. I will say I do like this Rex Kwando guy. He looks cool.
We have 1, 2.
Man, he is really giving it to Robert. I wonder if this man's ever been in a confrontation outside of a Whole Foods. Looks like the kind of guy that'd be singing Careless Whisper at a bar 30 years ago.
I drop my foot.
Not a karate. Oh, Jesus! Have some mercy on Gary Busey. Jesus Christ.
And again, if I come around, the same thing occurs here. I'm shifting this energy back.
Is that his arm breaking? What was that? Yeah, I'd like to see the other arm break now, if you don't mind. Can you just beat up Robert again? Boo! Come on, Larry, just beat him up. I don't care if you poke him in the eyes or the stomach, just beat up Robert. Can we go full speed?
As he pushes.
There it is. Yep. Robert was coming to steal your wife. Don't let him. Just keep slapping him. I don't care.
And then back.
That's why I bought this DVD.
And then, but I'm just
this guy is the progenitor of slap championships.
By the time this hits,
not really. The progenitor of Robert's fucking concussions, maybe.
By the time the elbow comes around, I've already checked this point here. I'm back to my back leg at this point, and then back into the elbow.
Take that, Robert. That'll teach you to sign up for Larry Tatum's dojo.
If you watch me.
Yeah, fuck this. I don't care about your solo interpretive dances, Larry. I just like to see you beat up Robert.
Locked in.
Oh, who's this?
For me to get started again, because I've
actually did you snap Robert's neck? What? Why are we replacing him? It's like replacing Seinfeld in season 2 or something. What the fuck is this? All right, Jay. Let's see. Can you take a punch as well as Robert can?
So that if I make my hit here,
ooh, he's gonna
I can drop straight
bang him like a bongo.
And as I move from the next point,
ooh, there it is.
That speed and footwork rocking back to forward and back.
Larry's popping and locking. This one's for my TikTok. Okay. Larry might be my favorite karate instructor. The true master of Kinpo. Robert! Did you ice your chin? You ready for more?
Pushes, and I fulfill that pattern by the use of the...
It never gets old watching Robert get fucked.
Take a technique like reversing.
Robert, are you ready for the ER? You're paying for the ambulance.
By the way. Okay.
Does this DVD come with my own Robert to beat up? Why is Jay getting off so easily?
To create power.
He's getting fucking tickled by Larry. Meanwhile, Robert's getting sledgehammered.
Okay. Or you can.
Yeah.
Make contact with Robert.
Welcome back, Robert. Stop lecturing me, man. Show me. I'm a kinesthetic learner.
A little more shift.
Beat up Robert.
To this. And if I did,
his elbow just pops out. His arm falls off.
Okay. Did I give it a function?
Robert's body makes great noises when Larry Tatum hits it. His body was made for, like, combat sound effects.
A little bit of shift.
Alright, now hit him in the stomach. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Can we get some ribs in there? I want to hear some of those breaking.
That allows me to shift my weight from this up again.
Yeah, just saw it off. There it is. There it is.
And so forth. And if I want to hit to the groin.
Ooh, there it is. No children for you.
Momentary shift. Everything what?
Ooh, that's a good position.
As they should. Because I know
that's typically the one I finish in.
And I know what this foot is doing. I know what
the old grandfather clock pendulum. A forbidden technique in Kinpo martial arts. I'll be using these knives and I'll be throwing them at Robert. Through my training and the DVDs I've created, he should be able to catch them.
I'm going to turn this way.
Oh, God!
You guys can see what she's doing.
Is he going to beat up his daughter?
As Britt gets pushed, she's going to part my arms and just do a normal step into a new
I don't want to see this one, Larry. I don't want to see how you put your hands on your wife.
But okay.
What are you teaching right now? What is this technique? How to get bullied in school? Where's Robert? There he is.
If I decide,
thank you. The real star of the show. This is Robert's DVD. Larry's just guest starring on it.
Is going to be here, okay, from here to the face. What I do is I'll shift forward with my leg. And
Like a rock'em sock'em robot, Larry. There it is. That's better. He pulled away that time. He showed mercy.
Final part of the punch. You can see the weight.
He figured after 2 he didn't need to get the UAV from the 3rd.
Launch the punch. What I'm doing now. All in one motion. Yes. So, now.
How much more can your bones take, Robert? If I hit you with my car, would you survive? Find out in Larry Tatum's next DVD for Twisted Metal Car Combat.
Example like
Robert.
Jay, let me borrow you.
Robert, come here. I just got this buzzsaw. I want to test it out. Jay comes out here and damn near gets a massage from him. Meanwhile, Robert just gets brutalized in front of the whole class.
So forth.
Jay gets off so easy. Robert? Robert, come over here, please.
Jay goes down.
I've got this golf club that I'd like to hit you with. All of you know how much I love fun, bad movies. To date, Moonfall is still the most entertaining film I've ever seen because it is a beautiful disaster of a movie. $100 million budget and not a single thing about it is even close to being good. It's amazing for all the wrong reasons, and it is one of the most entertaining films ever constructed by our species. So I have a huge passion for fun, bad films, so I was very excited to see Meg 2 today because I watched the first Meg. It's nothing special, but it's enjoyable and it's very silly and it's, of course, a bit stinky. It's a movie about Jason Statham hunting down a megalodon shark, so of course it's going to be a bit goofy. And Meg 2 was rolling around and I expected it'd be a lot of the same. Some stinkiness, some silliness, put him in a pot and create a wonderful stew out of it and put a smile on Charles's face. And to a certain extent it did. But it's also legitimately one of the stupidest movies I've watched in quite some time, and in a lot of ways, it's dumber than Moonfall. And I don't say that lightly. To say something is stupider than Moonfall is a bold claim that you need empirical evidence to back up. That's a claim that's bordering on insanity to say out loud. But I mean it, and I'll prove it here when I break down Meg 2 for you. So, of course there's going to be spoilers here. I'm just going to rip the band-aid off right now. I don't think you're really going to watch Meg 2 for the story. I don't think anyone's going to this film for the narrative. You know, no one's watching porn for the plot, and no one's watching Meg 2 for the character relationship and the overarching plot. A plot that is so fucking simple, I legitimately think Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy made it after eating 5 slabs of buttered toast. It is baffling that this actually even made it into the film. It should have just been a montage of shark carnage and Jason Statham going, "What's up, chum?" and then kicking people into the shark. That's an actual line from the movie, by the way. Like, it would have been better if that's the direction they went, but unfortunately, the biggest sin this movie commits is it is boring for about 80% of it. 80% of this movie isn't spent on megalodons or action or characters fighting against megalodons. For some reason, they made the first 80% a fucking soulless, garbage, poorly written, embarrassing, corporate corruption conspiracy mystery movie. And that's using a very generous term for it, because calling this a mystery in the first 80% is an insult to the English language. It's more like a pistory, because it belongs in a toilet. So, the first 80% is dedicated to explaining the world now. There's a very expensive expedition group that's led by Jason Statham, and they do these deep dives into a trench that has these megalodons roaming around, and they're separated from the rest of the ocean thanks to this barrier that they can't cross. There's a very strong jutsu, and the megalodons aren't allowed to either enter or exit. But this team that Jason Statham is a part of is financially backed by tons and tons of doubloons, so many clams. They have so much money. They have a lot of very powerful people financing it, and they also have a megalodon in captivity that they're training and raising like a pet to understand a bit more about megalodons as a whole. Now, the team is about to go on a routine dive. They've done, I think, 26 successful missions or something like that. And this was supposed to be just another standard trip, but things went a bit awry. Now, there's another passenger aboard this ship, this giant, complex, and it's a child that Jason Statham is raising and teaching, and she's a genius. She's a 14-year-old super genius, fucking Jimmy Neutron level intellect, and she sneaks aboard the expedition vehicle with Jason Statham and the team, which he's very upset about. He's like, this is very not good. I'm very disappointed that you've done this. We're turning this ship around. But then they're like, no, we'll just press forward. And so they do. He didn't take a whole lot to convince them. But while they're doing that, that megalodon they have in captivity breaks out. And do you want to know how it breaks out? Well, because there was like a single metal grate, like a single metal cheese grater that was supposed to stop a fucking megalodon, an absolute monster. So it just easily breaks through with literally no effort, and we're supposed to be shocked that it did this. I don't understand how, because it was basically just a single piece of construction paper that separated the megalodon from the rest of the world. So that right there was already extremely lazy to me. They could have had some kind of cool plot, like showcasing the megalodon being really smart, like, the megalodon set a trap, it played dead, it went belly up. So when they went in there to check on the megalodon's heartbeat, it fucking mauled them all and then escaped. Maybe it grew wings and flew away. I don't know. Just anything besides it went through a basically open tunnel that we didn't think about. So as they're going on this dive, the megalodon that they had in captivity starts chasing them. And they're like, how is that possible? We've got to dive deeper. It's the only way to escape it. So they dive deeper. Then they eventually go into the very deepest part of the trenches. And they're speculating on if they should just abandon the mission because this is already not going according to plan. So Jason Statham's like, should really abort mission. And even the main, base is like, yeah, probably a good idea. This is already totally off book here. Let's just get the fuck out. But the actual owner of the company, the whole enterprise, is like, no, this is a really good opportunity to explore. We're explorers, god damn it, this is what we do. And our megalodon came down here because she wants to mate. It's mating season for megalodons, and I'm fucking horny. We're gonna go watch. And they're like, well, if you say so, shucks. So they continue to go deeper into the trenches, and then they stumble upon an underwater base. And I shit you not, for about 10 minutes, I really thought they were about to bring Atlantis into this. They were like, oh my god, there's an underwater base here. This is so weird. Wait, I'm getting heat signatures. There's living creatures on that base. And I was like, oh my god, they're going to do Atlanteans here. Oh, this is going to be incredible. But they don't. It turns out there was a different company, a shadow organization that had the same access to the technology they did, and they had this underground base that this team of good guys, the explorers, stumbled upon. And this is where the corporate conspiracy starts to unfold. They start wondering, how is that possible? We're 25,000 feet deep. No one has access to this kind of shit except us. What's going on here? There's fishy business, and I'm not liking the smell. So then we get to go into one of the bad guys' submersibles, and he's like, oh, they stumbled upon us. There's only one option. And then the guys, there's like a team of 3, and 2 of the guys are in these like underwater, fucking Gundam suits, and they're like mining away at barnacles, and they're like, no, don't do it, wait, no, don't do it. He's like, I've got to do it, they've seen us. I'm like, no, please don't. And he just blows everything up, including himself. He doesn't die from it, spoilers, but he blows everything up in the trenches, which blows up the barrier, like the genjutsu that keeps all of the megalodons in the trenches. So he blows that shit up. He blows up the heroes' submarines and everything. And then they're in a big scramble because they can't escape now because their submarines are fried. So they get into these high-pressure suits, and they start making the walk on foot from the crash site of the explosion all the way to that base that they identified. Now, just to put you in the right headspace here, it's a fucking snooze fest. And it's already been like 30 or 35 minutes by this point, so it's a slow burn. Meg 2 puts the megalodons in the back seat. It puts them as like sidekicks. Like they have cameos in this movie basically, because they spend the first 80% with this garbage here. It's so fucking boring. But anyway, the explorers with Jason Statham and the child and everyone else get in touch with the main base like, hey, we're gonna need that rescue submarine. Shit went tits up down here and we need a little help. This one lunatic blew us to kingdom come, blew us to high heavens. Our submarines don't work anymore, come get us. And they're like, we're on it. Actually, scratch that. we can't. Somebody sabotaged our rescue sub. And now you can see all of the complex narrative plot devices coming into play. So then they have to figure out who sabotaged it. So naturally, they check the surveillance cameras. But it turns out our culprit was smart enough to turn off all of the surveillance cameras. But what they didn't realize is they had built in a fail-safe security camera system. So they go and check that. And it's revealed that our man on the inside, our evil person on the good guys team, is a girl named Jess. And she's evil because she wants money. She says that she's doing it because she wants more money than she could ever possibly care about, where money loses all meaning to her. So it turns out what they were doing down there on that base is they were mining rare earth minerals. And I shit you not, when they go into the base, one of the main guys is like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, wait, this is rare earth minerals." He literally says it's rare earth minerals. And it's like, they're probably using this for superconductors, which is good for quantum computation devices as well as all kinds of transportation. This is very important stuff. No doubt, this one crystal I'm holding in my hand is worth $1 billion. And Jason Statham's like, billion? With a B? Like, I think I'm actually quoting this verbatim. I'm pretty sure I've got this right on the money if you check the script. And he's like, yes, with a B. And then that's when Jess is like, billions of dollars are at stake here. And then it gets even bigger because it turns out Jess isn't the only person working on the inside. The main girl who's financing all of this, the big CEO super powerhouse who gave a speech in the very beginning of the movie about how proud she is of this company, she is the one who's pulling all of the strings. She's the puppet master and everyone else is just the marionette on the strings dancing for her. And she's like, why aren't they dead yet? What's going on? So, I want to pause real quick because I'm probably overstimulating your brains right now. I want to point out a huge plot hole that I can't believe no one on the team recognized. The way that this is conveyed is that this is all part of the plan. What they wanted to do is kill everybody on board that main base, or rather, they wanted to kill everyone on board those subs. That was the plan from the get-go, I believe, unless I missed a crucial detail. But even Jess, who was one of the core team members, advised that they pull out of the mission when the child was on board the submarine. She's like, okay, yeah, things are a little off course, should probably pull out. So if their plan was to kill them, why would she advise that? Plus, there was no plan in place. The only reason this went so wrong is because the Megalodon unexpectedly broke out. None of this was planned or orchestrated. And the only reason there was ever an explosion in the trenches is because they accidentally stumbled upon that secret base and mining operation because they were trying to watch some sharks fuck. Like, all of it was pure happenstance. None of this was planned, and yet every step of the way, that evil lady CEO's like, you know, why aren't they dead yet? We talked about this. You sabotaged the rescue vehicle, did you not? How could they still be alive? As if it was all part of the plan. Even though there was clearly no fucking plan. The whole plot falls apart, like, if you think about it for more than 3 seconds. And another thing, why the fuck would the owner of the company that has the access to the technology, is actively doing dives and everything, why would they even bother having a separate, shady organization that's doing the same thing but then collecting rare earth minerals? Like, they're making billions of dollars off the rare earth minerals, but they could also still be doing that with the Explorer team. They could just say, like, hey, we're also going to send a mining team down with you. Like, I don't think anyone would care. This is a completely separate from the rest of the world region where they're just mining rare earth minerals no one else has ever seen or had access to before. The Explorer team would actually probably be pretty excited about that because it's more information and more knowledge for them. Like, they get to take in these things and learn about them. So I don't even understand the nefarious need to have, like, an evil group alongside your normal group. You could have just merged them together without any of the evilness. You could have just been like, alright, and now bring me back some fucking barnacles. They're super barnacles. Those are turbocharged magic barnacles. So let's just get a few of those and we can sell them and continue to finance these expeditions. And I don't think anyone would bat an eye. Like, I don't understand what the conflict even was to even have them as a group in this movie in the first place. There's a single throwaway line that I think is what they tried to get across, and it's from Jason Statham. He said that you're doing this for money. So I guess that's what made it inherently bad and needed to be split away from the expedition group, even though all of their expeditions are also for money. Like, they were also a profit-driven organization too. So it was like a really weird dynamic there. And then there was one line from the evil CEO who said, we can destroy the planet from underneath the trench and no one would ever know. We'll destroy all of it and sell it all for billions of dollars, is basically what her monologue said. And it's like, okay, but also, we never had access to that before, so you're right, no one would know, and you're not really destroying the planet. They were literally chipping away some of the, like, crystals on the side of things. It wasn't like deforestation underwater. It was like actually a very small scale operation with only like a handful of crystals. Like it wasn't that big of a deal, really. So they did a horrible job of showcasing why the bad guys are doing what they're doing in the first place. So now let's get back to the plot. So they're walking from their destroyed submarines in their high pressure Power Ranger suits to go to their base that they found and then take escape pods to get to the surface. And along the way, things get messy. There's like some deep sea creatures with some sharp teeth that start biting them. So our people start shooting back with their spear guns. One guy gets abducted by a giant squid and he dies. You don't see it, it's all off screen. Another girl gets eaten by a shark, a megalodon. You don't see it. This is a PG-13 movie, so they don't show any of like the carnage or anything. So pretty much every death in this movie is either off screen or cut away from right away, which doesn't make any sense for a fucking movie about sharks killing people and killing sharks in return. Such a huge blunder. I understand why it's PG-13 because it's more profitable to do that because it's more accessible to people, but it still takes all of the wind out of the sails of every single action moment, of which there is very few in this movie. So they're going on this, journey from their subs to the base. They lose everyone along the way except for 4 people. Of course, the main 4, Jason Statham, the kid, the main guy behind the operation, and then another girl who was a big part of the team. So they make it to the base. Then that guy who blew everyone up cements himself as like the primary antagonist who's going to keep clashing with Jason Statham. So they end up fighting on this base. Jess reveals herself to be the person on the inside who's pulling on the strings. She traps them in that base and tries to drown them, but Jason Statham swims, I shit you not, swims with no gear from the place where they were drowning outside of the base to hit the emergency override button and save everyone. He is swimming with no gear at 25,000 feet. Nothing, very few things rather, can fucking survive at 25,000 feet under the sea. And at the very bottom of the list of things that could maybe survive, humans are there. Humans cannot. Fucking everything blows up under that immense pressure. We have never even seen something that deep. And yet, Jason Statham, powered by testosterone and a deep voice, is able to just man mode it and fucking swim like a goddamn angelic mermaid. Just Olympic swim at 25,000 feet deep to save the crew. And they try and give an explanation for it, but I swear to God, I had to wiggle my finger and say, no way, that's horseradish. No shot. Their explanation was something like, as long as he inhales enough water into his sinuses, it will equalize his internal pressure to resist the water pressure and he'll be able to be just fine. I don't have a degree in marine biology, but there's no fucking way, right? Like, there's no way you could inhale enough water into your sinuses to somehow resist the pressure at 25,000 feet deep. There's just no fucking shot, right? Like, I just don't think so. But anyway, he does. He saves everyone. He then fights the main bad guy again down there, who, for some reason, lets Jason Statham live. Jason Statham passed out after saving everyone, and the main bad guy saves him, and he's like, I was in jail for 2 years because of you. I've been waiting for this moment to kill you. And it's like, brother, you could have just let him die in front of you. Like, I'm sure that probably would have been fulfilling for your revenge arc. Or, if you wanted to be more hands-on, you could have, like, stabbed him while he was still passed out. But instead, he, like, wakes him up, and then challenges him to some fisticuffs, like it's time to get pugilistic. Only he immediately cheats by bringing out a knife. So if you weren't going to actually like throw down with honor, why not just let him die? It doesn't make any sense, but anyway, they have like a really lame fight against each other, which of course Jason Statham wins. They then get into a backup submarine and escape to the surface, and in the meantime, the main base is being raided by the CEO's cleanup squad, who's come like they're a military group who's come to kill everybody so they can keep the secret that they're mining rare earth minerals in the trenches. But because of that explosion kind of poking a hole in that, protective barrier over the trench, 3 megalodons and the Kraken escape. A giant squid, basically the Kraken escapes to these 3 megalodons and like, uh-oh, we've got a problem. But it's not that big of a problem. So instead the military just keeps like shooting people and taking over the main base. And then there's 2 main people there that escape that are friends of Jason Statham. One of them's very cool. His name's DJ. He's got like a fucking Desert Eagle and he's got like pepper spray and a taser. And he's really cool. I think he's probably my favorite character in the movie. So he has some cool moments where he unleashes some martial arts and he starts shooting his Desert Eagle. Like, it's fun watching him. And this whole sequence is kind of enjoyable because finally it's snapping out of this tedious corporate conspiracy narrative that they were trying to drive home. Now we're just getting into some fun action. We have some megalodons that are now finally starting to do something like eat people. We have the Kraken who's on the loose now. So finally, you know, like an hour and 10 minutes into the movie, we're getting something entertaining. So anyway, I'm just going to press fast forward real quick here. Basically, all of the good guys escape the the main base. The Marines are still chasing them. And Jess, the woman on the inside, turns out was the lover of the bad guy in the deep sea. So he comes back, he gives her a kiss, and then the main evil CEO calls Jess, and she's like, Jess, we're going to need to give you a promotion. We're going to make you a hero here because the public's going to hear about this. Somehow. I don't know how, but they're like, we need to make you the hero here, Jess, so we're going to write you a story about how you saved everyone and saved the world and saved the planet. And Jess is like, that sounds great. And then she gets eaten by a megalodon who comes through the glass and kills her right in front of her boyfriend. And her boyfriend runs away. He's like, oh no, no, no. So that's how they get Jess out of there. She was a very important person in everything going wrong, and she probably only had like 4 scenes in total in the entire movie for maybe like 3 minutes of screen time. They killed her off in a really quick, comical way. That was self-aware, though. I'm very certain that was an on-purpose gag to kill her like that. So I don't have a problem with that. But anyway, now we're getting off the main base. We're towards the end of the movie. So the good guys are in a little boat, and they're going towards something called Fun Island. Didn't put any real effort into this, clearly. This movie really feels like it's the first product of the writer's strike. Like, this had to have just been written by people on their off time during lunch that weren't on strike. Like, there's no way an actual team of writers wrote this one. I really don't think so. Or if they did, they intentionally made it as unappealing to everybody as possible, because up until this point, it is a snooze fest, and they fucking called this place Fun Island. Didn't even bother to give it a name. So they're approaching Fun Island, like, everyone get out of the water! There's fucking megalodons coming and it's a giant squid! And they're like, oh, it's a load of hooey. You're stupid, we're vacationing, we're having fun, we're not getting out of the water. And then all of the bad guys arrive to Fun Island as well, because they all deduced that it was going to Fun Island, so they go to Fun Island. And for some reason, the fucking evil CEO flies in on a helicopter to the island as well. The central point of the conflict, with all of the fucking prehistoric killing machines and all of the gunfights against the good and bad guys. For some reason, the evil CEO, who's totally safe and comfortable at her penthouse suite, flies here and just sits in the helicopter. She just wanted to be boots on the ground, like feel like she was part of the team, you know, part of the crew, part of the ship type shit. So she flies there in a fucking helicopter just to sit there and whine. Why? Why? Like, it doesn't even make sense in the context of the narrative. She has no reason to be there, but she goes out of her way to be there. And she's there like this, too. She basically fucking teleports there. Like, I don't know how she got there so quick. But she's there, and then she immediately dies. Because also escaping from the trench wasn't just megalodons and the Kraken. It was like lizard monsters. So there are these like 4-legged little lizards with big teeth that crawl around. And they bite and kill her. They drag her away. So she does nothing. She flies to the island just to sit in the helicopter and die. But not before she has like 5 other horrible scenes where she's in the helicopter and she hears a noise. And she says to the pilot, she's like, Jenkins, go check on that. And it's like, lady, open your eyes. So like he turns off the helicopter and he goes out there and he dies eventually. But it zooms out from the helicopter, and there is a dead body right next to the helicopter, right next to the evil CEO, that somehow she didn't see? Like, she didn't know? And she's like, Jenkins, I don't know what that was. Go check on it. And it's like, if she just looked to her left, she would have seen a dead body. And how the fuck did someone die there without her knowing about it? Who was it? Sam Fisher on a stealth mission killed this guy? Like, it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And it's not just that body either. There was another body as well right next to the helicopter. So multiple people died around her, and she didn't know? Was she asleep? Is she lobotomized? Like, what the fuck? And then eventually she gets ambushed. Ambush is the wrong word because the thing literally just slowly crawls up to her, jumps in the helicopter, and drags her away. And we never see her again, so she's presumed dead. So she had nothing to contribute to this fucking movie at all. The entire corporate conspiracy plotline has no real conclusion to it. It's all such trash. It's such trash. I'm kind of jumping all over the place now because the movie itself jumps all over the place. It becomes like an actual fever dream. So trying to remember anything from this film is a Herculean task. So the good guys are on the beach. They see the megalodons coming, and the megalodon starts eating people, starts killing people. The giant squid brings down an entire ship and starts, strangling people and killing them, drowning them, eating them. And I shit you not, two of the good guys go off on their own side quest, like into the jungle, because there's like a jungle on the beach there. So they go off into the jungle, and Jason Statham and another good guy and the child are still on the beach coming up with a plan. And for some fucking reason, Jason Statham tells the child to go to the lifeguard tower, which overlooks the water. You know, the place with the 3 megalodons and the giant squid that we're trying to escape from? He tells her to basically go into the fucking water. I'm surprised he didn't tell her to get on the surfboard and, like, start shredding some waves to have a little fun to take her mind off the stress. Like, what is that plan? Like, just tell her to go into the jungle. Like, the only thing that I could maybe try and rationalize here is I'm giving such a charitable fucking goodie bag to the team here, is that maybe Jason Statham thought it'd be more dangerous for her in the jungle because there were some gunshots from the bad guys fighting the lizard monsters. But even still, it's significantly lower odds of getting shot out in that jungle, which is a huge jungle, than it is putting her over the water with the megalodons and shit. But anyway, he basically just sends her to her death, like, as a prank. She doesn't die, spoiler. But he sends her to the most dangerous place possible. Meanwhile, he himself made little spears with bombs on them, which is something that we've seen him do before. And his plan is he's going to start throwing the spears with bombs on them at the megalodons, and he's going to save the day and be the big fucking hero. So the side quest that two of the people go on is to find the helicopter. They find the helicopter, no problem, lickety-split. And then they say it's out of fuel. How could it possibly be out of fuel? They just landed that bitch. It has been fucking planted on the ground and nothing else. How is it out of fuel? Did it just barely make the trip here? Did the lizard monsters, like, siphon the gas out of it because they're addicted to the gas? Like, how is it out of fuel? So then there's an intense moment where they're, like, scrambling to get the fuel hose, which is right next to the helicopter, conveniently. And they're like, all right, fill it up. And then the lizard monsters are, like, charging them. It's like, no, our precious nectar. We need the fuel. It tastes so good. So the lizard monsters are crawling after him. He starts spraying them with the gas, and they're like, ooh. So he's, like, holding them off with that, and then he fills the chopper in between, sprays them, and he's filling the chopper. And then they get on the chopper, and then one of the guys throws a match and blows up the lizards, and they fly the chopper away for literally 3 seconds before he immediately crashes. So, chopper crashes. One guy jumps out, one guy stays in, and you think he's dead, but he's not, because the helicopter, like, basically fucking explodes. The helicopter literally, like, fucking explodes. So you're like, oh, man, that guy died. Rest in peace, man. Godspeed. What a fucking patriot. But no, he's not dead. Like, somehow he survived it. So he's just, like, hanging out in there. So the guy who jumps off is like, I need to save him now. So he, like, swims over there. And he saves him, no problem. But anyway, let's just I'll just finish up. I've been going on for so fucking long here. This is like an actual moonfall incident here, trying to explain this absolutely disgusting, degenerate plot. So Jason Statham is throwing spears at the sharks, and this is when the movie is finally good. Watching the sharks actually kill people, well, as much as they show, which isn't much of anything, is enjoyable. It's fun. You know, shove popcorn in your face, turn your brain off, and just enjoy the silliness of it. It's fun. Jason Statham fighting the megalodons is fucking great. Him throwing these homemade spears with bombs on them is really cool. blows the brains off of one of them after riding a gnarly-ass wave. So Megalodon jumps up, it misses him, slams down, creates a huge splash, which creates a huge wave, which Jason Statham, fucking Tony Hawk, ramps off of, throws a spear down beneath him, blows the brain off of one of the Megalodons, bang, checkmate. Then Jason Statham crashes his jet ski. Oh, I forgot to mention he's on a jet ski, by the way. Actually, that's a very important part. I don't know what you were picturing without me saying jet ski, but yeah, he's on a jet ski. He's not, like, running on the water, you know. He's on a vehicle. But he crashes, and then he's on the dock, and then the bad guy's there as well. And the bad guy's got a light machine gun, and he's, like, shooting at him, and Jason Statham gets the edge. He stabs him in the leg. He takes his gun, and this is where we get our really cool one-liner moment. The bad guy's like, "You've got your gun. You gonna shoot me?" And he's like, "Don't need it." So Jason Statham drops the gun, which is so fucking dumb, by the way, because these are just sharks. You can shoot them, and it will hurt them. That gun would be invaluable as a resource to have. Having that gun would be so fucking helpful to protecting that child you care so much about, and everyone else on the beach that you seem to care a lot about. But for some reason, it's like, yep, don't need it. I also forgot to mention that the child who went to the lifeguard tower for some reason decides that she wanted to try and save one person in particular, so she gets on a surfboard and swims out to her because she was drowning, and then she, like, leads her to the shore. So that was, like, a tense moment because, like, oh, is the Megalodon gonna kill the kid? No. No, didn't happen, but just wanted to point that out. So he drops the gun, the bad guy's like, "I knew you were too soft to shoot me," and it turns out this sneaky bad guy had another gun in his belt pocket, or holster. So he rips it out, and as he's going for it, Jason Statham kicks him into the mouth of a Megalodon who's going by who eats him. And Jason Statham's one-liner is, "See you later, chum." So that was awesome. Yeah, and then I'll just go ahead and wrap up the synopsis here. Jason Statham starts banging a helicopter blade against the surface of the water to get the attention of the Megalodon to get him away from his friends. The Megalodon charges him. The Megalodon jumps up, about to eat Jason Statham, but Jason Statham drops back, points the helicopter blade straight up, and impales the Megalodon, killing it. Now, astute observers will have, well, not observers, astute listeners will have heard me mention that there were 3 Megalodons and a giant squid. So what happened to the other Megalodon and the giant squid? Well, that third Megalodon ate the giant squid, mauled it, because it wanted to. So that's how the giant squid dies. And then the third Megalodon is actually the one that escaped from captivity that they were trying to train. So the main trainer had his, like, clicking tool, and he gave it clicks to try and let the Megalodon know, "Hey, it's me, we're buddies, we're pals." And the Megalodon's like, "Ooh, geez, pardon me, you're right. I didn't recognize you, you know, out here in the water like this. I'll be on my way now." So after a couple clicks, the Megalodon just swims past them and then leaves. That's where the movie ends. So, yeah, that was Meg 2. It was a fun, bad movie at the end, but everything before it was insufferably boring bad. So I didn't love it, basically. But yeah, you know, probably the stupidest movie I've seen in a while. Definitely up there. But I do like the last, like, 20 or 30 or so minutes, because finally it's what the movie should be. Fucking silly action with sharks and a giant squid. It's fun. So, yep, that's about it. See ya.